Warrior Lore. Chapter 4072. I wonder what's the meaning of all these seniors telling me this news? Wang Xian looked at the 12 ancestral sorcerers and asked. The 12 grand sorcerer ancestors had clearly guessed what he was doing, but they had still revealed this matter. It was obvious that they had some ulterior motives. Although they were all living beings of the nine-source universe, Wang Xian still had to pay attention to what he should. We would like to make a deal with you, Dragon King. The ancestral wizard in the middle looked at Wang Xian and said, "A deal?" Upon hearing his words, Wang Xian was taken aback. The ancestral sorcerer of the sorcerer tribe wanted to make a deal with him? I wonder what kind of deal you would like to make with me? Wang Xian asked directly. Dragon King, you have 9 attributes. Now that you have a special way to enter the battlefield of the elemental gods, you can obtain elemental fragments. Our Magus clan has a way of drawing the elemental gods into the 9 essences universe, turning them into a paradise. We would like to use that paradise to trade for the elemental fragments in your possession, Dragon King. Of course, the Dragon Palace will definitely be satisfied with the deal. The ancestral wizard in the center continued speaking, exchanging a blessed land for an elemental fragment. Upon hearing their words, Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. Ancestral wizard seniors, I wonder what element the other 2 elemental deities are, and what element fragments do you want? Wang Xian continued asking. The elemental gods fighting over there are of the darkness element and the water element. The strength of these 2 elemental gods is about the same as these 2. We want the darkness element fragments. Dragon King, help us get all the darkness elemental fragments. We can guide the darkness elemental and water elemental gods into the 9 origins universe, and the 2 blessed paradises will belong to your dragon palace. What do you think? The grand wizard in the center continued to answer. Upon hearing his words, Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. A darkness-attributed elemental fragment. Currently, although the darkness-attributed elemental fragments were extremely useful to the Tai Chi Dragon Coil. However, a small amount of dark element fragments could only bring a limited improvement to the Tai Chi Dragon Board. What he needed the most right now were the 5 elements. The Tai Chi Dragon Board needed only a few more elemental fragments to break through. With the water attribute elemental fragment, the 5 elements grindstone would definitely be able to break through. There might even be some left. Moreover, the Dragon Palace could obtain 2 powerful grotto heavens. Generally speaking, in the long run, the value of a paradise formed by 2 elemental gods was much higher than an elemental fragment. Wang Xian had no reason to reject such a profitable deal. Sure. Wang Xian nodded. If I can enter the center of the battlefield between the 2 elemental gods, I'll agree to this deal. All right. The eyes of the grand wizard in the center also lit up, and he nodded with a smile. They were the ones who proposed this deal. To them, it was extremely beneficial. Good. The other battlefield has been going on for tens of thousands of years, and the 2 elemental gods have also started fighting in close quarters. I wonder when the Dragon King is going to go there? The ancestral sorcerer asked Wang Xian. How far is that place from here? I'll send my men to check it out first. If there are any elemental fragments, I can rush over immediately, said Wang Xian. The elemental gods here were still fighting, and no one knew when they would drop elemental fragments. He was unwilling to give up on this place. After all, elemental fragments were too precious. No problem, it's not too far away. When the time comes, we'll make a teleportation formation for you, said one of the ancestral sorcerers. That's even better. Wang Xian smiled and nodded, after which he looked at Qilin Bull beside him. Qilin Bull, follow the group of ancestral sorcerers to the other battlefield of the elemental gods. Yes, boss. Qilin Bull nodded. He was aware of the strength of these ancestral sorcerers. Hee, let's go. The 12 ancestral sorcerers smiled and left with Qilin Bull. Wang Xian took a look before returning to the area covered by the battlefield of the 2 elemental gods. Bam, bam, bam. At this moment, sounds of collision were heard, and Wang Xian saw an elemental fragment flying to the side. Upon seeing this, Wang Xian's eyes lit up with excitement. This piece is huge. If I can get it, The 5 elements grindstone in my hand should be able to be upgraded to the heavenly yuan creation level. Wang Xian murmured excitedly. He flew over quickly and kept it. After which, he ordered the 5 elements grindstone to absorb the elemental fragments in the nest. Once the 5 elements grindstone completely fused with these elemental fragments, his strength would be greatly enhanced. At that time, the Dragon Palace would be able to deal with a control level, heavenly yuan creation level like the City Empress. When my strength reaches a certain level, I'll annihilate the Phoenix clan. Wang Xian thought to himself as a murderous intent flashed in his eyes. Time ticked by. After a year, Bull sent him some news. It was about the situation of the other battlefield of the elemental gods. After receiving it, Wang Xian revealed a faint smile. He did not expect to reap such a horrifying harvest not long after he came to the chaos. This harvest was too great. He also did not expect his 9 attributes to bring him such a pleasant surprise. Perhaps he was the only one who could enter the battlefield of the elemental gods. He thought to himself. After a few hundred years, the 12 ancestral sorcerers came again and set up a teleportation formation at the side. Wang Xian ordered Bull to test the teleportation formation in case of any unexpected situations. After all, he was not particularly familiar with the 12 ancestral sorcerers. Therefore, he still had to make some preparations. Dragon King, let's take a look at the other battlefield of the elemental gods. An ancestral sorcerer said to Wang Xian. Wang Xian nodded and went to the other battlefield of the elemental gods through the teleportation formation. When he saw the battle ahead, his eyes lit up. In this battlefield, there were already a few shiny elemental fragments. As time passed, there was a possibility that these fragments would be absorbed by the elemental gods again. Therefore, it did not mean that he would be able to obtain these elemental fragments after the battle. Dragon King, you should be able to enter. The ancestral sorcerer with pale pupils looked at Wang Xian. Let me give it a try. Wang Xian moved his body. Water and darkness attributes intertwined and revolved on his body continuously. His body came to the edge of the aftermath of the battle. When he entered, he was not attacked. He was safe and sound. He had succeeded. However, although the 5 elements great grindstone's absorption speed is fast, it will take at least 100 million years to complete the enhancement. Wang Xian mumbled to himself as he looked at the 5 elements great grindstone in the mother nest. However, 100 million years was not a long time. In the remaining time, Wang Xian could be considered to have stabilized. In the battle between the 2 elemental gods, he obtained elemental fragments one by one. After a million years, the fire elemental gods and the metal elemental gods no longer dropped elemental fragments. In this 1 million years, Wang Xian obtained another 2 elemental fragments. The 12 ancestors of sorcery began to separate the battles with their arrays. Then, they led them towards the 9-source universe. The battle between the darkness elemental gods and the water elemental gods continued. 10 million years passed in the blink of an eye. The battle between the darkness elemental gods and the water elemental gods no longer dropped elemental fragments. In these 10 million years, he obtained 14 elemental fragments, 7 pieces for each attribute. To Wang Xian, this was another huge gain. In this period of time, the fire elemental fragments and the metal elemental gods had been led by the 12 ancestors of sorcery to the 9-source universe, forming 2 blessed caves. However, due to the chaos tree, no one was cultivating in the 2 grotto heavens. The 2 elemental gods had also settled down there. Without resisting the attrition of the chaotic energy, the elemental gods would generally not move. They emitted powerful energy in their surroundings. Cultivators of the fire elemental and the metal elemental gods would reap great benefits if they cultivated here. This was just like cultivating beside a heavenly origin creation expert. As for the fire elemental and the metal elemental gods, the sorcerer clan took the fire elemental god. The metal elemental god belonged to the Dragon Palace, while the water elemental god and the darkness elemental god belonged to the dark elemental god. The water elemental god belonged to the Dragon Palace, while the darkness elemental god belonged to the sorcerer clan. Chapter 4074, Dragon King, it's a pleasure working with you. Wang Xian followed the 12 ancestral sorcerers and guided the water and darkness elemental gods to the nine-source universe. He had also witnessed some of the power of the 12 grand wizards. That powerful formation was indeed extremely terrifying. It's a pleasure working with you. Wang Xian smiled. With a wave of his arm, 7 pieces of dark element fragments flew into their hands. We have lured the elemental gods to this area. From now on, our 2 forces will guard this area. We have 4 different attributes. If we can cooperate, we can cooperate. Let's leave these matters to our subordinates. The ancestral sorcerer with a human head and a snake body smiled at Wang Xian. No problem. In the future, if the 12 grand wizards come across another war between the elemental gods, you can tell me. We'll continue working together, and we'll split all the treasures evenly. Wang Xian said to them. Okay, no problem. The group of ancestral sorcerers smiled and nodded. In this cooperation, they had obtained 7 elemental fragments. These darkness-attributed elemental fragments were extremely useful to them. It wasn't easy for them to obtain such a treasure in the primal chaos. This was equivalent to chopping off the limbs of someone who had just entered the heavenly origin realm and obtained it. After chatting with the 12 ancestral sorcerers for a while, Wang Xian sent a message to Prime Minister Turtle. He brought the Qilin Bull and stepped into the primal chaos once again. He continued to explore while searching for treasures. However, wanting to find treasures in the primal chaos was far too difficult. Over the course of tens of millions of years, they had only encountered one gigantic chaos meteor. This meteorite was traveling at a terrifying speed in the primal chaos. The entire chaos meteor was incredibly attractive. When Wang Xian came into contact with this chaotic meteorite, he immediately dodged it. This meteorite was extremely large. Its destructive power was also terrifying. If he didn't dodge in time, he would definitely be struck to death by the terrifying chaos meteorite. He did not have the slightest strength to resist. Wang Xian felt that even a control-level creation realm expert would find it hard to defend against this meteorite. Treasures were hard to find, but as long as one could find them, even peak sovereign realm experts could only dream of obtaining them. It was definitely a powerful treasure. After nearly 100 million years, Wang Xian stopped. He looked at the 5 elements grindstone in the mother nest, waved his arm, and released it. At the same time, there were 2 fist-sized elemental fragments above the 5 elements grindstone. These 2 elemental fragments were being absorbed bit by bit. At the same time, the 5 elements grindstones might grew increasingly terrifying and powerful. Wang Xian revealed a faint smile as he sensed the might coming from the 5 elements grindstone. We're almost there. Almost there. Once the grindstone of the 5 elements breaks through, with the help of the Qilin, we'll be able to fight against a control-level heaven origin creation. That means we'll have 3 heaven origin creation combatants. Wang Xian murmured. With a wave of his arm, streams of energy surged into the 5 elements grindstone, helping it absorb the energy even faster. As Wang Xian attacked, the speed of the 5 elements grindstone's absorption and transformation increased. Amidst the boundless chaos, the roars of the 5 divine dragons were heard. The surrounding chaos began to tremble, and the surrounding space began to change. A 5-colored space directly propped up the primordial chaos, as if the heavens and earth were being split apart. Amidst the chaos, the 5 divine dragons emerged, swaying their massive bodies as they coiled around each other. Below the 5 divine dragons was a round disc. The entire disc exuded an awe-inspiring and terrifying power. The 5 divine dragons entered the 5 elements grindstone, and the entire grindstone began to spin and expand. Eventually, the entire 5 elements grindstone was the size of a dozen stars. The 5 divine dragons on it were exceptionally clear. Other than the 5 divine dragons, there were also pictures of various weapons densely packed on it. There were countless pictures of various kinds of weapons. These were the acquired cardinal treasures and innate spiritual treasures that the 5 elements grindstone had absorbed in the past. These weapons that were absorbed had fused with the 5 elements grindstone and received a huge boost in strength. Now, the five elements grindstone could release these weapons to attack. Wang Xian looked at the powerful aura coming from the five elements grindstone. With a wave of his arm, a fire attribute innate cardinal treasure landed on the five elements grindstone. Innate cardinal treasures could not be destroyed by a sovereign realm expert. Even a pinnacle sovereign realm expert could not destroy it. However, the destructive power of a heavenly Yuan creation realm expert could destroy innate cardinal treasures. Now that the five elements grindstone had broken through, it should be able to devour innate cardinal treasures. When the fire attribute sword landed on the five elements grindstone, the innate cardinal treasure grade sword started to be absorbed bit by bit. At this rate, it would be absorbed within 100 years. At that time, the five elements grindstone would also receive a slight boost. Of course, this boost was limited. Wang Xian's eyes lit up when he saw this. This meant that the five elements grindstone could be upgraded by devouring innate cardinal treasures in the future. This brought a smile to his face. With a wave of his arm, countless weapons flew out from the five elements grindstone with terrifying auras. With a wave of his mind, the five elements grindstone shrunk rapidly and hovered below him. Great! Wang Xian revealed a satisfied look. Now that the five elements grindstone has broken through, the upgrade of the Tai Chi Dragon Coil will depend on luck. Wang Xian murmured. The Tai Chi Dragon Coil required light and darkness elemental fragments to upgrade. The darkness elemental fragments that he had obtained not long ago had already been traded with the sorcerers. It all depends on luck. He thought to himself as he looked at the elemental fragments in his mother nest. There was also a fire attribute elemental fragment and 7 water attribute elemental fragments. These were all extremely precious treasures. Water attribute elemental fragments can help the disciples of the Dragon Palace improve rapidly. Currently, the Nine Origins universe is still lacking a water attribute, Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm expert. An idea suddenly flashed in Wang Xian's mind, following which, he frowned and shook his head. This was going to be difficult. The Nine Origins universe currently had a slot for a water attribute, Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm expert. However, the strength of the water attribute experts in the Dragon Palace was too low. The strongest among them, Shui Linglong and her father, the Water Dragon King, were only at the 6th Order Universe Lord Realm. Even if they improved, they were only at the 7th Order Universe Lord Realm. This was too far away from the Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm. Chapter 4075. The Nine Origins universe had a quota for Water Element Creation Realm experts. But this quota was not so easy to obtain. All the Peak clans would definitely fight for this spot with all their might. After all, this was a chance for their own race to have another Creation Realm expert. This was especially so for those forces that did not have a Peak race. This was a crucial opportunity, because if they missed this opportunity, the quota for Creation Realm experts in the Nine Origins universe would be full. If they wanted to break through again, they would have to wait for the Cataclysm to arrive and head to other universes to break through. But if they wanted to break through in other universes, they had to first have water elements in that universe. In addition, they would have to face the attack of that universe's expert. They did not want the quota of Creation Realm experts in other universes to be occupied by experts from other universes. Although I have 7 elemental fragments now, which are very precious, the other top races and Creation Realm experts should have some treasures in their hands. If the Dragon Palace had a Peak Sovereign Water Element expert, it would be fine. But now, there is no such expert. This is a problem. Wang Xian murmured. Shui Linglong and her father would need at least 5 to 600 million years to reach the peak of the Sovereign Realm from their current Cultivation Realm. And this was under the premise that they absorbed the elemental fragments. But in 5 to 600 million years, those experts who had reached the peak Sovereign Realm would have already broken through. The Phoenix race's Water Phoenix King, the Celestial Nation's Floating Water Queen, and the Sage Bloodline's Scholarly Scholar. These 3 have the highest chance of entering the Creation Realm. The Phoenix race has the Phoenix Emperor, and the Sage Bloodline has the Heaven Fusion Sage. They should be nurturing their subordinates and giving them great opportunities. Wang Xian thought about the information about the current water element experts in the Nine Origins universe. These three were known as the ones with the highest chance of entering the creation realm. Moreover, the Water Phoenix King and the Floating Water Queen had strength far beyond ordinary peak sovereign realm experts. They were closer to the creation realm. Apart from them, there were a dozen peak sovereign realm experts with the water element. They also had a sliver of a chance. It was impossible for the Dragon Palace to get this quota, but no matter what, I can't let the Water Phoenix King of the Phoenix race break through to the creation realm. Wang Xian's eyes flashed. Even if the Dragon Palace could not produce experts of the creation realm, he still had to intervene. The best way was to invest in a water attribute expert and nurture him. With his current resources, no powerhouse would reject him. After all, Wang Xian had 7 water elemental fragments. This was an elemental god's fragment that was at the heavenly origin creation stage. It was extremely beneficial for breaking through. In addition, the flowing blue of the sword and magic universe was a creation of heaven's origin. With their relationship, he could totally bring it over and let Lulan give him some pointers. Having made up his mind, Wang Xian flew towards the direction of the Tree of Chaos. After flying for a few hundred years, Wang Xian arrived before the Tree of Chaos. In the primal chaos, it was impossible to return to one's divine kingdom immediately, because in the primordial chaos, he could not sense his own divine kingdom. The primal chaos was so vast that flying for a short period of time would take hundreds or even thousands of years. In the primal chaos space, the most worthless thing was time. Dragon King. Wang Xian returned to the Tree of Chaos where the disciples of Dragon Palace were cultivating. Prime Minister Turtle immediately came up and greeted him respectfully. Prime Minister Turtle, help me check on all the water attribute experts in the 9-source universe. Get all the information. Wang Xian instructed Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle nodded and responded immediately. Wang Xian found a random spot on a tree branch and sat down quietly to cultivate. He sensed the surrounding location. Right now, there was only one divine origin fortune realm expert here. The Fairy Queen did not leave this place. The other heavenly origin creation stage experts seemed to have left and gone to explore the surrounding areas. There must be treasures around the Tree of Chaos. This was the consensus in the primal chaos. The group of heavenly origin creation stage experts would naturally not let go of this opportunity, and the surrounding situation was indeed the case. Under normal circumstances, a heavenly origin creation stage expert would need billions or even billions of years to encounter a battle between elemental gods and the primal chaos. And there were 2 such incidents in the vicinity. This had something to do with the Tree of Chaos, because the Tree of Chaos could shelter a space, and the power of chaos would erode everything that was not chaos. These things that were born in the primal chaos instinctively wanted to find a place where they could survive. The Tree of Chaos was one of them. Dragon King, this is the information of all the water attribute experts in our 9-source universe. Soon, Prime Minister Turtle handed over a set of information and reported to Wang Xian. What's the highest realm of the water attribute experts in our Dragon Palace? Wang Xian asked. The leader of the water divine dragons. He just broke through to the 7th order universe sovereign realm not long ago. Prime Minister Turtle replied. Wang Xian shook his head and looked at the information in his hand. These were all pinnacle sovereign realm water attribute experts. Among them, there were 5 from the Phoenix clan. Among the group of water attribute experts, the number of water attribute experts was the highest. Did the Phoenix Emperor prepare for this? Wang Xian frowned as he looked at the information. This was not good news. If the Phoenix clan had another heavenly origin creation stage expert, it would be even more difficult to annihilate them. Other than the Phoenix clan, the Celestial Nation, the Sage Bloodline, the Royal Family, and the Black Tortoise clan all had water attribute experts. All of them had a chance to step into the heavenly origin creation stage. Wang Xian pondered as he looked at the information. Gradually, an idea formed in his mind. As for whether this idea would work, it was hard to say. There are still 300 million years left. According to the agreement, 3 water attribute experts with the highest potential to reach the heavenly origin creation stage will be selected and groomed. From among them, a water attribute heavenly origin creation stage expert will be created. Wang Xian murmured. There were still 300 million years left. During this period, he did not plan to go out. Wang Xian called over the 2 fire divine dragons and gave them the elemental fragments for them to absorb and increase their strength rapidly. Subsequently, Wang Xian called over the water divine dragon leader, Shui Linglong's father. Shui Linglong's father had the strength of a 7th-order universe sovereign. Wang Xian gave him an elemental fragment to see if he could reach the pinnacle universe sovereign realm in 300 million years. If he could, there would still be a chance. If he couldn't, then forget it. Wang Xian did not have high hopes. Chapter 4076. In the following time, Wang Xian did not enter the chaos. It was too much of a waste of time in the chaos. He planned to cultivate here for a few 100 million years before giving pointers to the disciples of Dragon Palace. At present, the number of Dragon Palace disciples at the Dominator level was very high among the pinnacle races. However, in terms of high-end combat power, it was still the least. It could even be said that they did not have top-notch combat power. Wang Xian needed to nurture them carefully. Time passed quickly. In the blink of an eye, another 100 million years had passed. In 100 million years, the Water Dragon leader's strength had only broken through to the 8th-order Universe Lord realm. With the elemental fragments, it broke through 1 level in 100 million years. To Wang Xian, this was too slow. However, this was also as he expected. To break through to the pinnacle of the Universe Lord realm, it would take at least 500 to 600 million years, or even a billion years. Under such circumstances, he could only give up. Walala. On this day, when Wang Xian was cultivating, an excited roar was heard. The sudden roar caused the branches of the Tree of Chaos to tremble. The leaves collided. The deafening sound reached everyone's ears. The sudden situation caused everyone to be slightly taken aback. Their faces were filled with astonishment. What's going on? What kind of roar is that? It sounds so terrifying. I don't know. It's on the right. What a terrifying sound. Could it be a terrifying existence in the chaos? Don't worry, there are Sky Yuan and Creation Realm experts here. We will be fine. All the experts and disciples in the surroundings were shocked when they heard the roar. The roar shook their souls. Even the pinnacle of the Universe Lord Realm experts were the same. What's going on? Wang Xian heard the roar and looked in that direction. His body moved, and he quickly flew in that direction. At the same time, the City Empress was also flying towards that direction at high speed. When Wang Xian flew to the front of the Tree of Chaos, 3 figures appeared in his sight. These were 3 very strange creatures. They were like bugs, in a bucket shape and constantly wriggling as they flew. However, their speed was very fast. There was a grayish energy in their bodies, and there was also a type of earth attribute. City Empress, what is this? Wang Xian looked at the City Queen and asked in astonishment. Chaos beasts, beasts born from chaos. These 3 chaos beasts are worm beasts. The City Empress looked at the 3 chaos beasts and her eyes flickered. The worm beasts often appear around the Tree of Chaos. They also devour the leaves of the Tree of Chaos and live as parasites in the Tree of Chaos. Besides, the worm beasts like to devour any living creature with flesh and blood. The giant beasts born from the chaos are at least at the early stage of the divine essence creation realm. These 3 worm beasts have just entered this realm. We have to stop them and kill them. As the City Empress spoke, a companion spirit appeared on her shoulder. An elven staff appeared in her hand. On her back, there was an elven bow. A chaos beast comparable to the heavenly primordial creation realm. Is its entire body full of treasures? Wang Xian looked over and his eyes shone brightly. Of course, in the chaos, other than the grayish, dead energy, if there are other things, then they are all treasures. The City Queen said, there are 3 chaos beasts here. It will be a little difficult for us to eliminate them. We need other experts to come over. Which experts will be the fastest to get there? Wang Xian asked. The 12 ancestral sorcerers of the Sorcerer clan have set up a teleportation formation here. With their abilities, they should be able to get there within a month. As for the other heavenly primordial creation realm beasts, it will probably take more than 10 years. The City Queen said, all right then, I want one of the worm beasts. City Queen and the 12 ancestral sorcerers, you can take the other two, Wang Xian said directly. Huh. His words caused the city empress to be slightly taken aback, and an astonished look appeared on her face. Are you confident? The city queen looked at Wang Xian and asked in surprise. Yes. Wang Xian nodded confidently. Now that the 5 elements grind had completed its breakthrough, together with Qilin Bowl and the 5 elements grind, he could eliminate a beginner worm beast. One should know that Qilin Bowl's current strength was much stronger than Wang Xian's. It was comparable to a veteran beginner, heavenly primordial creation realm beast. Huh. The city queen was a little shocked. However, she still nodded and said, all right, I'll stop 2 of them first. I'll leave the third to you guys. No problem. Wang Xian nodded with a smile. He gestured to Qilin Bowl beside him. Qilin Bowl stared at the 3 chaos worm beasts in front of him. With a deep roar, his body enlarged. He turned into a powerful magical beast that was thousands of meters long. Roar. Wang Xian also let out a deep roar and transformed into his divine dragon body. Compared to Qilin Bowl's body, Wang Xian's divine dragon body was countless times larger. His body, which was like a huge meteorite in the starry sky, locked onto the leftmost chaos worm beast. Attack. Kill it. Wang Xian ordered Qilin Bowl. Yes, boss. Qilin Bowl answered loudly. With a swift move, he flew over. Some of the disciples of the rulers in the 9 Origins universe can witness the battle between the heavenly Yuan creation beasts. Watch from the back and don't get too close. The city queen said plainly. With a wave of her arm, she took the bow and arrows from her back and attacked the other 2 chaos worm beasts. She had a look of surprise on her face. The city queen did not expect that there would be chaos beasts coming to the Tree of Chaos. Most importantly, there were only 3 chaos beasts. Moreover, they had just entered the heavenly Yuan creation realm. This kind of chaos beast could be completely annihilated. To them, this was a huge treasure. The city queen had only encountered such a good thing once before. Given the city queen's strength, she could definitely kill one of them alone. This one was her spoils of war. As for the other 2 chaos beasts, if Wang Xian could kill one of them, it would naturally belong to Wang Xian. As for the last one, it would belong to whoever arrived first. Of course, the one who arrived first had to be a control-level, heavenly Yuan creation realm beast. Otherwise, a beginner-level heavenly Yuan creation realm beast would not be able to kill it. Chapter 4077. Huh? A battle between heavenly Yuan creation realm experts? Are there any heavenly Yuan creation realm experts invading us? They seem to be giant beasts. Look outside. There are 3 giant beasts. They are chaos beasts that live in the chaos. Their strength is no weaker than heavenly Yuan creation realm experts. Our city queen has made her move. The Dragon King of Dragon Palace is here too. The battle is about to begin. Let's go and take a look. A battle between heavenly Yuan creation realm experts. What a terrifying battlefield. Let's go. Within the Tree of Chaos, the experts and disciples were filled with excitement when they heard the city queen's words. They moved and quickly flew to the front. Their gazes were fixed on the chaos. Is that the true form of the Dragon King of Dragon Palace? It's so huge and vast. 9-colored energy shrouds its entire body. It's terrifying. It's really the sacred body of a divine dragon. It's really powerful. It's terrifying. It's indeed powerful. But the city queen is also very strong. Look at how she's fighting against 2 chaos beasts. The city queen is very strong. She's also a top-notch existence among the heavenly Yuan creation realm experts. The accompanying spirits of the fairies are very powerful. The experts and disciples from the 9-source universe were shocked when they saw the battle erupt. Roar, 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 roar. At this moment, the 3 chaos beasts roared when they saw Wang Xian and the rest charging towards them. They had rows of razor-sharp teeth. Liquid flowed from their teeth as they stared at Wang Xian and the rest with excitement. They lived in the chaos and did not know fear or dread. They only knew that Wang Xian and the rest in front of them were delicacies that could be a feast for them. They charged towards Wang Xian and the rest. Their bodies carried a grayish, earthy energy. Water forbidden spell, water burial. Wang Xian locked on to one of the chaos worm beasts. With a deep roar, the book of water forbidden spells floated in the air. Wang Xian's book of water forbidden spells was much more powerful than before. Lu Lan's half of the book of water forbidden spells was given to him because Wang Xian helped them destroy Aya's sky demon god. This made the book of water forbidden spells in Wang Xian's hands only lack the last part to become a complete heavenly yuan creation treasure. Even so, the book of water forbidden spells could still unleash a terrifying attack. The book of water forbidden incantation appeared, and the forbidden incantation immediately created a chaotic space, completely enveloping the chaos worm beast. Boom, boom, boom. The entire forbidden spell was directed at the chaos worm beast. Woo, woo, woo. The chaos worm beast seemed to have sensed danger. He raised his head and looked at the water forbidden spell above his head. It opened its mouth and spat out a cloud of sand. Above him, the water condensed into a special pattern and pressed down on the chaos worm beast. Below, sand and dirt filled the sky and shot straight up into the sky. The terrifying energy and boundless might caused everyone's hearts to tremble. Boom, boom, boom. A terrifying collision sound could be heard as the water forbidden spell collided with the sand. A powerful shockwave spread in all directions. Walla lala. The impact caused the leaves on the chaos tree's side to emit violent sounds. Hide behind the branches. When the disciples of the nine essences cosmos saw this, they hurriedly shouted. They immediately hid behind the branches. Devil God, mad roar. Seeing Wang Xian's attack, Qilin Bull followed up with his own attack. He opened his huge mouth, and a terrifying dark face condensed in front of him. The entire face opened its huge mouth and attacked the chaos worm beast. Seeing Qilin Bull's attack, the chaos worm beast let out a low roar. Its body shook, and a grayish energy shrouded itself. Nine Essences Dragon Domain. Wang Xian focused his eyes and shook his body. Nine-colored light shrouded the chaos worm beast, trying to pull it into his own domain. Elf Forest. The elf queen, who was at the side, also shouted softly. One by one, the branches extended towards the two beasts of chaos, intending to engulf them completely. Domain. Domain was the strongest technique of the nine essences cosmos experts. By pulling the other party into their own domain, they could suppress them, and their own combat strength would be stronger. Wong 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 wong. Roar roar. Roar roar. In front of them, the three chaos worm beasts could feel the powerful combat strength of Wang Xian and the elf queen, and let out a low roar. They did not retaliate. Instead, they closed in on each other. When they closed in, the earth attribute energy on their bodies enveloped them completely. An incomparably huge mound of earth was formed rapidly. This mound of earth was the size of dozens of stars. They were located in the middle, and their figures could not be seen at all. Separate them. Don't let them gather together. When the city empress saw this, she frowned and said loudly. This was also the first time she had encountered three chaos worms moving together. Therefore, she did not expect them to have such a move. Explode. Wang Xian focused his eyes. On the top of his head, two dragon horns shone brilliantly. Towering dragon horn. He let out a low roar, and two dragon horns directly condensed and attacked the huge mound of earth. The single horn of Qilin Bull also emitted a terrifying energy. The energy condensed into a huge horn and attacked. The elf queen drew her bow, and an arrow condensed on it. On the bow and arrow, there seemed to be countless trees growing rapidly. She released an arrow. Initially, there was only one arrow, but it turned into countless arrows, completely enveloping the huge mound of earth. Rumble, 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 rumble. In the next instant, the sound of explosions rang out continuously. The entire mound of earth began to collapse under the attacks of Wang Xian and the rest. It was like a huge meteorite being destroyed. Roar, 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 roar. At this instant, the three chaos worms seemed to have felt threatened and were extremely furious. At the moment when the mound of earth exploded, they attacked Wang Xian at the same time. They seemed to have sensed that Wang Xian's strength was weaker and wanted to eliminate him first. Book of Water Forbidden Spells, Cosmic Torrent. Seeing the three chaos worms attacking him at the same time, Wang Xian's eyes gleamed coldly. He let out a low roar. Above his head, waves of water energy were injected into the Book of Water Forbidden Spells, following which, the entire chaos worm seemed to have opened up a hole. Inside, a terrifying torrent of water surged towards the three beasts of chaos. Demon God, magical beasts charge. Qilin Bull lowered his head slightly and let out a low roar. Behind him, countless shadows of magical beasts condensed and charged towards the three chaos worms. Chapter 4078. Bam, bam, bam. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Terrifying sounds of collisions rang out continuously. Within the chaos, all sorts of energies were wreaking havoc. Terrifying attacks covered the sky and the sun. No, this could no longer be described as covering the sky and the sun. It was a terrifying attack that opened up a new world. This world was filled with terror. Is this the strength of a creation realm Sky Yuan expert? If we enter the center of the battlefield, I'm afraid we will be killed instantly. We won't even have the strength to resist. Ahead of them, a pinnacle universe lord stood on a tree branch and looked at the battlefield. Looking at the energy fluctuations and collisions in front of him, his mouth was agape and his face was filled with shock. Too strong, simply too strong. With a wave of his hand, heaven and earth changed drastically, as though he was creating a new world. Creation Realm Sky Yuan. This is the horror of Creation Realm Sky Yuan. Only when one reaches the Creation Realm Sky Yuan can he be considered to have transcended and become immortal. If we were to get close to such a battle, we might lose our lives. The difference is too great. It's a pity that our nine-source universe only has one water attribute Creation Realm Sky Yuan expert. If we want to break through to the Creation Realm Sky Yuan, we will have to go to other universes. This path is too difficult. When the cataclysm comes, even if I have to risk my life, I will try to break through and go to other universes. The group of Pinnacle Universe Lords was a little shocked. Before them was a true battle between Creation Realm Sky Yuan experts. The impact that this brought to them was far too great. If they did not enter the Creation Realm Sky Yuan, they would eventually face death. After all, during the cataclysm, it would be difficult to even protect their own lives. But once they reached the Creation Realm Sky Yuan, everything would be different. This also made many experts make up their minds. It was especially so for the Pinnacle Universe Lords with water attributes. They made up their minds to seize this opportunity. This was the greatest opportunity for them as water attribute experts. There were not many competitors in front of them. They had to grasp this opportunity. I'll hold two of them. The Fairy Queen saw the three Chaos Worm beasts about to attack. She kept the bow and arrow in her hand and held the magic staff. Swish, swish, swish. Swish, swish, swish. Swish, swish, swish. As the magic staff pointed forward, tree branches appeared in the chaos. The tree branches quickly wrapped around the two Chaos Worm beasts. Boom, boom. At this moment, the attacks of Wang Xian and Qilin Bull had arrived in front of the Chaos Worm beast. The three Chaos Worm beasts spat out yellow soil. The yellow soil enveloped the attacks of Wang Xian and Qilin completely. Roar. At this moment, he sensed the Siddhi Empress attack. Seeing the branches twining towards them, the three Chaos Worms opened their huge mouths and bit down on the branches. Roar. They bit the branches and swallowed them directly into their mouths. Crash. At this instant, Wang Xian stared coldly at the three Chaos Worm beasts. The Saint Wings of No beginning appeared on his back. He flapped the incomparably huge Saint Wings and disappeared in an instant. In the next instant, he appeared behind a Chaos Worm beast. As for the three Chaos Worm beasts, Wang Xian was almost done testing them. Its attack and defense were both very strong. But there was also a flaw, and that was in terms of speed. It was somewhat lacking. As for Wang Xian, he was best at speed. Even though the Saint Wings of No Beginning had reached this stage, it no longer had the insane speed of the past. But his speed was still not slow. In fact, it was a little fast. God's tail playing with pearls. Wang Xian came to the back of the Chaos Worm Beast again and swung his incomparably huge dragon tail. The dragon tail was aimed at one of the Chaos Worm Beasts. This Chaos Worm Beast was the size of an ant in front of Wang Xian's dragon tail. However, when the dragon tail landed on the body of the Chaos Worm Beast, it also paused for a moment. An extremely powerful energy came to block the attack. Endless earth attributes spread behind the Chaos Worm Beast and instantly formed a towering earth wall for defense. Ka. However, under Wang Xian's attack, the earth wall began to crack. The body of the Chaos Worm Beast was still flying forward. Bam! Just when Wang Xian thought he could drag this Chaos Worm Beast to another battlefield, the Chaos Worm Beast suddenly exploded. Its body suddenly dissipated, turning into a dense mass of yellow soil. It looked a little like the yellow soil of Huang Yun. The yellow soil flew in the direction of the other two Chaos Worm Beasts. Clearly, these three Chaos Worms knew that they could not be separated from each other. Once they were separated, there would be danger. Wang Xian and the City Queen frowned slightly when they saw this. The strength of the City Queen was at the control level. As for the control level, she could kill a beginner Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm expert one-on-one. But this was in a one-on-one situation. Wang Xian had not used the 5 elements grind yet. However, when the 3 Chaos Worm Beasts gathered together, even if Wang Xian used the 5 elements grind, it would still be difficult to kill them. This was because they could only kill one of them. They could not do it for the last one. Now that the 3 of them were gathered together, Wang Xian and the City Queen could at most severely injure them if they joined forces. It was impossible to kill them. It was extremely difficult to kill a Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm expert. Water Forbidden Spell, Sea Dragon. Wang Xian's eyes were cold. Waves of energy were injected into the Book of Water Forbidden Spell again. 2 water dragons began to form. Behind each water dragon was a vast ocean. The 2 water dragons carried the power of the ocean and heavenly might as they attacked the 3 Chaos Worm Beasts. Swish, swish, swish. At this time, the City Queen pointed the magic staff in front of her. The tree branches in front of her intertwined together and wrapped around the 3 Chaos Worm Beasts. She was trying to separate them. Only when they were separated, she would fight against 2, while Wang Xian would fight against 1 and annihilate it. Under such circumstances, they would be able to annihilate the 3 Chaos Worm Beasts. Otherwise, they would not be able to kill them. The 3 Chaos Worm Beasts saw the attacks. All of a sudden, they leaned against each other and their bodies began to intertwine. Their bodies gradually merged together. Only their heads were separated. In an instant, they seemed to have turned into a 3-headed snake with 3 heads. A creepy 3-headed snake. When Wang Xian and the rest saw this, they frowned again. They knew that with their strength, they would not be able to kill these 3 Chaos Worm Beasts. They needed more experts. Chapter 4079. This won't do. These 3 Chaos Worms are very smart. If we want to destroy them, we'll need another control level existence. Seeing this, the City Queen frowned and spoke to Wang Xian. Are you sure that the 12 Grand Wizard ancestors can rush here as soon as possible? How long do they need? Wang Xian asked. The 12 ancestral sorcerers are the fastest. They'll need about 10 days. We can't let the 3 Chaos Worm Beasts leave this place within these 10 days. The Fairy Empress replied. All right, even if we can't kill them, trapping them here shouldn't be a problem, said Wang Xian. The City Empress nodded her head. The 2 of them stopped attacking the 3 Chaos Worm Beasts crazily. When the 3 Chaos Worm Beasts sensed the weakening of their attacks, they began to retaliate in a frenzy. They began to retreat from defense to offense. Wang Xian, Qilin, Niu, and the City Queen were also constantly defending. So strong. The City Empress and the Dragon King can't kill these 3 Chaos Worm Beasts. We need more experts. Although our City Empress and the others can't kill these 3 Chaos Worms, they can completely suppress them. Now, They are waiting for the other city to rush over and completely destroy them. Yes, the lords want to get rid of this chaos worm beast completely. You should know that this is an existence comparable to the heavenly Yuan Fate realm. A heavenly Yuan Fate realm chaos beast is full of treasures. If they can obtain it, it will be of great benefit to them and their race. It's extremely difficult to kill a heavenly Yuan Fate realm expert, but the chaos beasts are different. They don't have the trump cards of the heavenly Yuan Fate realm, so the chances of killing them are much higher. When the disciples of the Nine Origins Cosmos saw this, they started discussing among themselves in shock. Some of the peak race experts and disciples also reported this matter to their Lord, Heavenly Origin Good Fortune. The Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts who received the news were slightly taken aback and immediately rushed over. The corpse of a chaos beast was a huge treasure trove. It was an opportunity that was virtually impossible to obtain in the Nine Essences universe. However, the Divine Origin Creation Realm experts from the peak races were mostly vexed. It would take too long for them to reach the Tree of Chaos. Moreover, they also knew that the elves had informed the Magi. The Magi were skilled in formations. In terms of traveling, the other Divine Origin Creation Realm cultivators could not compare to them at all. Even so, a group of celestial Yuan creation stage powerhouses rushed over quickly. Even if he couldn't get a share of the loot, he could still see if there were any treasures that he needed. At that time, they would carry out the transaction. In front of the Tree of Chaos, the three chaos worms were constantly attacking Wang Xian and the City Queen. The attack was very fierce, but it was still a piece of cake for Wang Xian and the rest to defend against it. Dragon King, Elven Empress, we're here. One for each of you. When the time comes, the sorcerers will give you some rewards. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye. Wang Xian and the rest withstood the attacks of the chaos worms for 10 days. These 10 days were nothing to Wang Xian and the rest. A war between elemental gods could last for tens of millions of years, or even hundreds of millions of years. This little battle between them was really nothing. All right, one for each. The City Empress sensed the arrival of the 12 Grand Wizards, and a smile appeared on her face. Let's break them up first, then each of us will take one. No problem. Wang Xian smiled when he heard that. He let out a wild roar. Beside him, Qilin Bull also let out a wild roar. They directly attacked the two Chaos Worm beasts. Close combat. Over the past few days, they had more or less grasped the Chaos Worms. The attack power of the Chaos Worms wasn't too strong. Their strongest point was still their defense. Therefore, Wang Xian and Qilin Bull rushed over without the slightest worry. Roar, roar. Roar, roar. When the Chaos Worms saw Wang Xian and the rest retaliating, their fused heads looked over and spat out streams of horrifying quicksand. The quicksand was mixed with the power of chaos. Swish, swish, swish. Swish, swish, swish. The City Queen held her bow and arrow, aimed at one of the heads of the Chaos Worms, and began to unleash her strongest attack. 12 Heavenly Revolutions formation, 12 monster-slaying swords. At the back, the 12 Grand Wizards appeared completely. They let out a low roar, and the 12 figures stood in fixed positions. Above their heads, 12 sharp swords that contained horrifying energy were condensed. The sharp swords attacked the head of one of the Chaos Worms. The attacks immediately covered the 3 Chaos Worm beasts. Wang Xian and Qilin Bull flew over, and the dragon tail swept across the head of one of the Chaos Worms. Qilin Bull's single eye emitted a blood-red glow, and he also attacked. The attacks from the 3 sides locked on to the 3 Chaos Worms. When the 3 Chaos Worm beasts sensed this terrifying attack, they all revealed a horrified expression. When they saw that they were locked on, they quickly began to dodge. Their bodies also began to separate. The 12 Grand Wizards of the Sorcerer Clan are here. The 12 experts of the Sorcerer Clan are here. They are so fast and powerful. The 12 Grand Wizards have opened up another path. Before reaching the creation realm of heavenly essence, they already possess abnormally powerful strength and created the glory of the Sorcerer Clan. The Sorcerer Clan is indeed ferocious. The Sorcerer Clan is more ruthless. When they show their trump cards, no one dares to underestimate them. Behind them, The experts and disciples were shocked when they saw the arrival of the 12 grand wizards and the horrifying swords. Some experts and disciples from the nine-source universe looked in the direction of the sorcerer clan with fear in their eyes. The entire sorcerer clan only had about 1,000,000 core disciples. It was even fewer than the experts and disciples of the royal family, but no one dared to underestimate them. The 12 grand wizards had not reached the creation realm of heavenly essence, but they possessed such terrifying strength. As for the other grand wizards and experts, who knew how strong they were, what trump cards would they have? After all, the sorcerer clan was the most ferocious existence every time the cataclysm came. Even in the faith universe, there were legends and records about the sorcerer clan. Split up, one for each of us. At this moment, Wang Xian saw the 3 chaos worms split up and locked on to the one he attacked. Nine Sources Dragon Realm. Wang Xian let out a low roar, and energy shrouded him. Lin You's body moved as he charged over in close combat. Chapter 4080. Roar. 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 The 3 chaos worm beasts saw Wang Xian and the rest charging towards them. Sensing the terrifying aura, they did not dare to gather together. If they gathered together, they would suffer even more attacks. They let out a roar and flew towards the back. The chaos worm beast that Wang Xian and the rest had locked onto also flew to the back in an attempt to escape. Although they did not have much intelligence, they still knew how to seek fortune and avoid calamity. Facing the attacks of Wang Xian and the rest, the 3 chaos worm beasts knew that they were no match for them. They might even die if they were not careful. This caused the 3 chaos worm beasts to flee for their lives. Wang Xian's body shook as the 9 origin dragon's domain enveloped him completely. Qilin Bull charged towards the chaos worm beast, while Wang Xian was also enveloped within it. A strong force landed on Qilin Bull and increased his speed by a lot. Qilin Bull Wang Xian flapped his unbeginning saint wings and flew over at the same speed. Within his 9 origin realm, shadows of divine dragons appeared one after another. The entire space was completely sealed by Wang Xian. Roar. Qilin Bull flew to the front of the chaos worm beast and raised his front claw. His entire claw lengthened like a blood-red bone blade. On his body, the unique symbols seemed to have come to life. The symbols flew out and turned into terrifying magical beasts that tore at the chaos worm beast. Roar, roar. Seeing that Qilin Bull was fighting it at close range, the chaos worm beast roared and charged forward. It opened its mouth, revealing rows of razor-sharp teeth. The razor-sharp teeth contained a terrifying aura. Qilin Bull was not afraid at all. His strength was no weaker than the chaos worm beast. Wang. At this time, Wang Xian waved his arm and the 5 elements grindstone flew out. In the 9 origin realm, there was no need for him to hide the 5 elements grindstone. After the 5 elements grindstone flew out, it spun and charged towards the chaos worm beast. On the surface of the 5 elements grindstone, all sorts of weapons shot out. Every single weapon contained a powerful destructive power. Wang Xian extended his dragon claw and attacked. All of them were melee attacks. When the chaos worm beast saw the continuous attacks, a look of fear appeared in its eyes. Its body shook violently, and streams of earth-attributed energy wrapped around its body. When Wang Xian, Qilin Ox, and the 5 elements grindstone saw it going into defense mode, they moved to 3 different positions and surrounded it. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. All kinds of attacks were directed at the chaos worm beast. Bam, bam, bam. The chaos worm beast's defense quickly collapsed. It could not withstand the combined attack of Wang Xian and the rest. Pooh! The Qilin Bull directly rushed over, and the horn on its head began to grow larger and longer, directly increasing to a length of 10,000 meters, piercing towards its body. The chaos worm beast hurriedly tried to block. At the side, Wang Xian and the 5 elements grindstone attacked the chaos worm beast directly. On the 5 elements grindstone, the 5 divine dragons merged together and formed a dragon claw that attacked the chaos worm beast. The dragon horn on Wang Xian's head shone brightly and shone on the Book of Water Forbidden Spells. A terrifying stream of water poured down from the Book of Water Forbidden Spells. The stream of water pierced through the Chaos Worm Beast. The simultaneous attack made it impossible for the Chaos Worm Beast to dodge. Ow, ow, ow. Following which, a blood-curdling shriek sounded. Fresh blood seeped out from the Chaos Worm Beast's body. Its blood was a yellowish-brown liquid that contained pure, earth-attributed energy. Dong, dong, dong. It let out a roar, and a loud roar came from its body, as though a huge earthquake had occurred. In the surrounding area, Wang Xian's nine-origin realm shook violently. The surrounding space also began to shake violently. 5 elements obliteration plate. Wang Xian saw the Chaos Worm Beast's attack, and the energy was injected into the 5 elements grindstone. The 5 elements grindstone began to spin, rising directly above the Chaos Worm Beast. Waves of oppressive energy started to circulate continuously. 5 elements revolved. 5 elements obliteration plate. The 5 elements obliteration plate resisted the attack of the Chaos Worm Beast. Wang Xian stood at the side, opened his dragon mouth slowly, and a gush of energy was brewing in his mouth. Boom! A 9-colored torrent rushed towards the Chaos Worm Beast. Roar, roar! At the side, the special symbols on the Qilin bull's body glowed, and his thick and heavy scales began to change. Bone spikes protruded from his body. The blood-red bone spikes were each 1,000 meters long. This made the Qilin bull look like a devil. The bone spikes on the Qilin bull shot out from his body, striking directly at the Chaos Worm Beast. Pft, pft, pft. The penetrating sound came again. Ow, ow, ow. The Chaos Worm Beast's blood-curdling screams continued. Facing the siege of Wang Xian and the rest, this Chaos Worm Beast had no strength to resist. What could it use to resist? Wang Xian could fight the Chaos Worm Beast to a draw one-on-one. With the addition of the Qilin Bull and the 5 elements grindstone, it was a complete one-sided battle. A one-sided battle. Just like a demon god back then, he could withstand the attacks of 2 experts of the same level, but he couldn't withstand 3 at all. Even if he could withstand the attacks for a short while, he would have to pay the price with his life. This Chaos Worm Beast didn't have as many tricks as a demon god. It would be even more difficult to escape and resist. Special blood gushed out from the Chaos Worm Beast's body as it roared in fear. The blood turned into attacks, condensed into earth spikes, and attacked Wang Xian and the rest. Be careful, Wang Xian warned. With a shake of his body, his companion spirit, Lingling, appeared beside him. At present, his companion spirit, Lingling, and the dark ghost doppelganger hadn't improved along with him, and thus possessed the combat power of the creation realm. The reason was that there wasn't enough energy, and Wang Xian's realm wasn't high enough. A large part of the reason why Wang Xian could possess the dark ghost doppelganger was because of the progenitor tree. The progenitor tree supported a portion of the energy of the dark ghost doppelganger. Now that the progenitor tree hadn't reached the creation realm, how could the dark ghost doppelganger have the strength of the creation realm? Similarly, the companion spirits were the same. They relied on Wang Xian, but at the same time, they relied on the progenitor tree. However, the current Lingling was still of great use to Wang Xian. The dark ghost doppelganger wouldn't do. Lingling appeared, and the Book of Forbidden Water Curse immediately landed in her hands. Chapter 4081. Attack. Wang Xian bellowed. Lingling took the Book of Water Forbidden Incantation and began to release the Forbidden Incantation. Wang Xian and the 5 elements Grindstone and Qilin Bull attacked the Chaos Worm Beast at the same time. The powerful attack easily suppressed the Chaos Worm Beast again. Even though the Chaos Worm Beast was going all out, it still couldn't suppress the energy and attack of Wang Xian and the rest. The Chaos Worm Beast's miserable cries resounded continuously. Its injuries were getting more and more serious. There was no way to resist. This Chaos Worm Beast couldn't resist at all. I'll be able to kill it soon. Seeing this, Wang Xian revealed a tinge of excitement on his face. Every part of the Chaos Worm Beast's body was a treasure trove. Its teeth could be used to forge weapons that were stronger than inborn cardinal treasures. Its flesh and blood were the greatest resource for Earth attribute cultivators. It was no exaggeration to say that this Chaos Worm beast could help the Dragon Palace produce at least 20 Pinnacle Universe Lords. This was the strength of a heavenly Yuan creation realm expert's corpse. In fact, if there were opportunities and quotas, it could even give birth to a heavenly Yuan creation realm expert. Of course, in the nine-source universe, it was impossible to produce an Earth attribute heavenly Yuan creation realm expert. The Earth attribute heavenly Yuan creation realm expert belonged to the Black Tortoise race. As Wang Xian and the rest attacked, the vitality of the Chaos Worm beast was getting lesser and lesser. At the same time, the other two Chaos Worm beasts outside were also suffering from terrifying attacks. The attacks of the City Queen and the 12 ancestors of sorcery were not something that the Chaos Worm beast could withstand. The two Chaos Worm beasts were also covered in a large amount of blood. It was especially so for the attacks of the 12 ancestors of sorcery, which looked extremely strange. Curses, darkness, chaos. All kinds of energy were directed at the Chaos Worm beast. The vitality of the two Chaos Worm beasts was also getting lesser and lesser. The three Chaos beasts are completely suppressed. The three Chaos beasts are about to be killed. The 12 ancestors of sorcery and the rest are so strong. The Chaos beast can't fight back at all in their hands. Their attacks are also very strange and terrifying. I wonder who will be able to kill the Beast of Chaos first. The Dragon King's side is completely covered by the 9 types of energy. I can't see the battle inside clearly. It's the same for the City Empress. Outside, all the experts and disciples of the 9 Origins cosmos were discussing this. The war this time could be said to be very shocking. A battle between divine essence creation realm experts was terrifying. Ayo, ayo, ayo. Right at this moment, the Chaos Beast's tragic cry could be heard. The Chaos Worm Beast, which was near the 12 ancestral sorcerer ancestors, was trembling violently as its life force rapidly drained away. This was the power of the curse, an extremely terrifying power. That Chaos Worm Beast was about to be destroyed. Soon, the Chaos Worm Beast was completely annihilated. When the spectating disciples saw this, their faces were filled with shock. The 12 Grand Wizards have killed the Chaos Worm Beasts first. The 12 ancestral sorcerers of the Sorcerer clan are so powerful. They aren't truly heavenly primordial creations, but they can unleash such terrifying power. They're really powerful. A large number of experts and disciples exclaimed. After the 12 ancestral sorcerers destroyed the Chaos Worm Beasts, they immediately kept the carcass and looked to the side. The City Queen will be able to destroy that Chaos Worm Beast soon. At the Dragon King's side, the Chaos Worm Beast's life force is also rapidly weakening. The ancestral sorcerer with 10 arms swept his gaze across and said, "It's not surprising that the City Queen can destroy the Chaos Worm Beast. How can the Dragon King's speed be so fast?" The resistance and energy of the Chaos Worm Beast at his side are completely suppressed. His strength isn't as simple as what we see. The ancestral sorcerer in the middle looked in the direction of the 9 Origins dragon domain and said, his eyes were filled with astonishment and shock. With the strength of the Dragon King and the strength of his mount, how could they perfectly suppress a Chaos Worm Beast? Now that the Chaos Worm Beast's life force was rapidly diminishing and it was about to die, this also meant that the Dragon King and the others had the strength to fight against a control-level divine essence creation realm expert. Wang. Just as they were guessing, at the area covered by the 9-colored energy, the 9-colored light gradually disappeared. Wang Xian and the unicorn flew out. As for the area inside, the Chaos Worm Beast had disappeared. Wang Xian had kept it, 3 against 1, and it was easily killed. Huh. The City Queen, who was not far away, looked over at Wang Xian's swift killing of the Chaos Worm Beast. She was shocked. It seems like the Dragon King has been hiding his strength. The City Queen could not help but comment. She looked at the Chaos Worm Beast in front of her and said, "It seems like I have to kill it as soon as possible. Hee, my Chaos Worm Beast is too weak." Wang Xian smiled faintly when he heard that. He looked at the 12 ancestral sorcerers who had killed the Chaos Worm Beast. The 12 seniors are really impressive. I'm impressed, he said to the 12 ancestral sorcerers politely. They had worked together once and were considered decent partners. Hee, the 12 of us had to join forces to achieve this. We can't be compared to you, Dragon King. The ancestral sorcerer in the middle smiled and shook his head. At this moment, they were indeed amazed. The strength that Wang Xian had displayed was enough to fight against them. The Dragon King and the rest have also killed the Chaos Beast. The Dragon King and the rest are really strong. After all, the Dragon King has a creation realm expert as his subordinate. It's normal for him to be fast. This isn't normal at all. How long has it been since the Dragon King cultivated to this level? To be able to match a veteran creation realm expert like the Sidhe Queen in such a short period of time is already very heaven-defying. Yeah, how long has the Dragon King been cultivating? How long have the Sidhe Queen and the 12 ancestral sorcerers been cultivating? It's incredible that the Dragon King can achieve this. This also means that the strength of the Dragon Palace can be ranked at the top among the pinnacle clans. When all the spectating disciples from the Nine Origins universe saw that Wang Xian was the second to kill the Beast of Chaos, their faces were filled with shock. All of them were discussing some of Wang Xian's achievements. However, the 3 Phoenix Kings from the Phoenix clan had grave expressions on their faces at this moment. In fact, they looked a little awful. Given their strength, they had some understanding of the creation realm of heavenly origin. They also understood the divisions of beginner, control, great Tao, and chaos. They knew that if their King of Phoenix were to attack this Beast of Chaos, it would be impossible to kill it. But the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace could do it. Chapter 4082. The Dragon Kings of the Dragon Palace could kill a Chaos Beast alone. This already meant that the strength of the Dragon Palace's Dragon Kings was stronger than their Phoenix Emperor. This was definitely not good news for the Phoenix clan. It could even be a potential crisis. This was because the feud between the Phoenix clan and the Dragon Palace had not been completely resolved. They were not like the Angels. As long as the Angels did not pursue the feud with the Dragon Palace and lowered their heads, the Dragon Palace would not pursue it. However, the Phoenix clan was involved with the Divine Dragon clan. Therefore, the feud between the Phoenix clan and the Dragon Palace would eventually come to an end, and this ending would be a huge war. The stronger the Dragon Kings of the Dragon Palace were, the more dangerous the Phoenix clan would be. Fortunately, we did not completely fall out with the Dragon Kings of the Dragon Palace. The feud is irreconcilable. Not far away, the Radiant Angel King of the Angel clan saw this scene and was a little terrified. He was glad that he did not end up in a fight with the Dragon Palace to the death. In the past, he had suffered some losses, so be it. Although a Pinnacle Universe Lord Realm expert was killed by the Dragon King, he was resurrected. Compared to offending such a strong force, that little loss was nothing. The King of Dark Angels nodded in agreement. Now, even if the Emperor of the Angels were here, he would also feel lucky to see this scene. They knew that the creation realm of Heavenly Yuan was also divided. It was also because they knew that they were astonished and shocked. The other experts from the other pinnacle races also had their eyes flickering. While the experts and disciples from the Nine Source universe were discussing, the Fairy Queen began to show her prowess and directly used her companion spirit to enhance her attacks. Under the continuous shooting of arrows, the last Chaos Worm Beast was completely destroyed. The Fairy Queen waved her arm and kept the corpse of the Chaos Worm Beast. A small reward, please accept it. Seeing that the Fairy Queen had killed the last Chaos Worm Beast, the 12 ancestors of the Sorcerer tribe waved their arms and 2 pieces of Worm Beast's flesh flew to Wang Xian and the Fairy Queen. This was also a reward for Wang Xian and the Fairy Queen for besieging the Chaos Worm Beast and informing them of the news. The reward was a piece of flesh, no more, no less. To Wang Xian and the City Empress, it was not a small amount. If the 12 ancestral wizards hadn't come, they wouldn't have been able to kill the 3 Chaos Worm Beasts. It's not a big deal. We're lucky this time. 3 Chaos Beasts actually flew to our doorstep. The Fairy Empress said in a good mood. Haha, that's true. We searched in the chaos but didn't find any precious treasures. This is also luck, especially for the Dragon King. Your luck is really good. The Grand Wizard with a human head and a snake body said with a smile, "Hee hee, my luck is indeed not bad." Wang Xian nodded with a smile. "Let's work together again. It's been a pleasure working with you. If there's anything we can work with next time, please let us know, Dragon King. We're very fast." The Grand Wizard in the middle continued to exchange pleasantries with Wang Xian. "All right, no problem." Wang Xian nodded his head. "Oh? It seems that the Dragon King has cooperated with the sorcerers once. Did you get any good treasures?" The Fairy Empress raised her eyebrows. "The carcasses of the Chaos Worm beasts aren't of much use to the Siddhi. If any of you have any treasures of the wood attribute, we can trade them. We only got some fragments of the elemental gods. There's nothing of the wood attribute." The 12 ancestral wizards shook their heads and answered, "All right then." The Fairy Empress smiled and flew to the side. "If any of you find any treasures of the wood attribute and wish to trade for the carcasses of the Chaos Worm beasts, I'm more than happy to do so." Seeing the Fairy Empress leaving, Wang Xian nodded at the 12 ancestral wizards and flew towards the Dragon Palace. This time, he had obtained a carcass of the Chaos Worm beasts. He was prepared to use it to nurture the disciples of the Dragon Palace, to nurture a batch of disciples who were at the pinnacle of the universe Lord realm. In the surrounding area, the experts and disciples of the nine-source universe looked over with envy when they saw Wang Xian and the rest flying to the positions of their respective clans. This time, the sorcerers, the Siddhi, and the Dragon Palace had reaped great rewards. Prime Minister Turtle, pick 20 disciples of the Earth attribute and let them come over. Wang Xian ordered Prime Minister Turtle. He would use the resources in his hands to nurture the top-notch disciples of the Dragon Palace. "Yes, Dragon King." Prime Minister Turtle answered immediately. For the next period of time, Wang Xian did not leave the Tree of Chaos. Instead, he guided the disciples of the Dragon Palace in their cultivation. After a few hundred years, the Sky Origin Creation Realm experts of the Nine-Source Universe arrived one by one. The Sky Origin Creation Realm expert of the Black Tortoise Clan came over and asked Wang Xian if he wanted to trade the carcasses of the Chaos Worm beasts. However, Wang Xian rejected him. The carcasses of the Chaos Worm beasts were rare treasures for the cultivation of the disciples. The Dragon Palace had disciples of the Earth attribute. Naturally, they would not trade them. As the Sky Origin Creation Realm experts arrived one by one, the strength of Wang Xian and the rest shocked the group of Sky Origin Creation Realm experts. To be able to kill a Chaos Worm beasts meant that the strength of the Dragon King, Unicorn, and the rest were comparable to the Sky Origin Creation Realm experts of the Realm of Control. In the entire Nine-Source universe, only the Nether Clan, the Siddhi Clan, the Black Tortoise Clan, and the 12 ancestral wizards of the Sorcerer Clan possessed the combat strength of the Control level. The rest were all at the beginner level of Control level. This also meant that the strength of the Dragon Palace was stronger than theirs. In addition, the Dragon Palace had 2 Sky Origin Creation Realm experts. Such mobility was not something that the other Pinnacle clans could compare to. When the Emperor of the Phoenix clan received the news, his face was unusually grim. It seems like the Phoenix clan has to nurture a Sky Origin Creation Realm expert. Otherwise, the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Over at the side of the Phoenix race, the Emperor of the Phoenix race sat there with a myriad of expressions on his face. A cold glint flashed in his eyes. He then looked at the disciples of the Phoenix clan with the water attribute. Among the 15 water attribute disciples who have the potential to break through, the Phoenix clan has 6. The chances are high. We have to raise one of them to the Sky Origin Creation Realm. Of course. The Emperor of the Phoenix clan spoke continuously. He revealed a confident look on his face. When the Divine Dragon clan's Sky Origin Creation Realm experts fell, he had made some arrangements and made some preparations. Otherwise, the Phoenix clan would not have so many Pinnacle Sovereign Realm experts of the water attribute, especially the King of the Aqua Phoenix. He felt that the chances of the King of the Aqua Phoenix breaking through were very high. As long as the King of the Aqua Phoenix broke through, the Phoenix clan would have 2 Sky Origin Creation Realm experts. At that time, they would not have to fear the Dragon Palace. Chapter 4083. Time flew by. Today, The status of the Dragon Palace in the Nine-Source universe had risen tremendously. Wang Xian's arrival and the two Creation Realm Sky Realm experts' Dragon Palace. Slaying a Creation Realm Sky Realm Chaos Worm Beast had made the disciples of all the pinnacle races in the Nine-Source universe realize the strength of the Dragon Palace. No one dared to underestimate it. Even those old peak-level races, old heavenly primordial fortune. The current Dragon Palace was only a little weaker than the Divine Dragon Tribe at their peak. This point would slowly be erased with time. Wang Xian guided the disciples of the Dragon Palace in their cultivation. In the blink of an eye, another 100 million years had passed. He stood on a branch of the Tree of Chaos, closing his eyes to sense everything around him. Wang Xian had the water attribute in his body. Under his full senses, he could sense the strength of the water attribute experts around him, as well as the amount of energy in their bodies. The three who have the highest chance of breaking through to the creation realm are still the ones. Wang Xian murmured. Water Phoenix King of the Phoenix Tribe, Floating Water Queen of the Celestial Nation, and Scholar of the Sage's Bloodline. There were still about 100 million years to the agreed time of 500 million years. The three of them had the highest potential. This was especially true for the Aqua Phoenix King and the Sage's Bloodline, as they had Sky Origin Creation Realm experts behind them. Floating Water Queen of the Celestial Nation was one of the rulers. There were 3 kings in the entire Celestial Nation. At the same time, they were siblings. The 3 siblings had founded the Celestial Nation. The Celestial Nation was a force that was born after the last cataclysm. There were no Creation Realm experts in it. The possibility of controlling him is too small, but I can make him stand on the Dragon Palace's side. Wang Xian thought to himself. He would definitely take a gamble and stake his life on the line. Now that there was a Creation Realm Sky Realm spot in the Nine-Source universe, there was no need for him to compete or participate. But there was a chance for the Phoenix Tribe to have another Creation Realm expert. This was something Wang Xian would never allow. Prime Minister Turtle, get Floating Water Queen here. Wang Xian transmitted his voice to Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle answered immediately and flew towards the Celestial Nation. Very soon, 3 figures followed Prime Minister Turtle and flew over from the Celestial Nation. Among the 3 figures, there was a woman wearing a blue windbreaker. The other 2 were middle-aged men in armor. Their appearances were somewhat similar. Dragon King, Queen Floatwater is here, as well as the other 2 kings of the Celestial Nation. Prime Minister Turtle flew over and greeted Wang Xian. Greetings, Dragon King. Queen Floatwater and the other 2 bowed respectfully when they saw Wang Xian. There were strong and weak forces. Even though the Celestial Nation was also a peak-level race, they did not have a Sky Origin Fortune Realm expert. However, even if they had Divine Origin Creation Realm experts, they would still have to bow and pay respect to other Divine Origin Creation Realm experts. You're Queen Floatwater, right? You're quite strong, and your mastery of the water attribute is quite high. Wang Xian sized up the Floating Water Queen and chuckled. I'm still no match for you, Dragon King. Floatwater Queen immediately bowed and replied. Before I called you over, did any other Divine Origin Creation Realm experts call for you? Wang Xian asked directly. 2 lords told me something. Queen Floatwater hesitated for a moment and did not hide anything. Previously, someone from the Divine Origin Creation Realm had contacted her. The meaning was clear. They wanted to invest in her. When Queen Floatwater received the message, she was very excited. However, she calmed down very quickly. Her competitors also had Divine Origin Creation Realm experts behind them. Compared to them, there was still a gap between them. Your other 2 competitors have Divine Origin Creation Realm experts behind them. You can't compare to them. Of course, breaking through to the Divine Origin Creation Realm is more dependent on one's comprehension. You still have a great chance, at least 20%. Now, I want to invest in you. As Wang Xian spoke, he waved his palm and water elemental fragments appeared in his hand. When the elemental fragments appeared, Queen Floatwater trembled slightly as she stared at the water elemental fragments in disbelief. These are elemental fragments, fragments from the God of Elements. And the God of Elements, is stronger than the chaos worms that we hunted not long ago. You should be able to feel the energy of the origin source. I have a total of 7 pieces with me now. These 7 elemental fragments can increase the number of pinnacle universe lords in my dragon palace by 10. Wang Xian said to her. Dragon King, I can feel the energy coming from within. I know how precious they are. Queen Floatwater's eyes were burning as she spoke. Dragon King, you are taking out such precious treasures to invest in my sister? What do we need to do? The bearded middle-aged man beside Queen Floatwater asked Wang Xian with flickering eyes. Yes, I want to invest. Elemental fragments are one of them. There are other things too. Let me finish. Wang Xian smiled and continued. I know a divine origin creation realm expert in another universe. I can bring you over and get her to guide you. Queen Floatwater's jaw dropped at his words. The 2 middle-aged men beside her also widened their eyes in shock. To get guidance from a divine origin creation realm expert? This was a great opportunity for an expert who was about to break through to the divine origin creation realm. Dragon King, I can't reject your offer, but I want to know what price I have to pay. Queen Floatwater grabbed the corner of her coat and asked Wang Xian. The Dragon Palace will eventually have a war with the Phoenix race. If you break through to the divine origin creation realm, you have to stand on the same side as the Dragon Palace until the Phoenix race is annihilated. If you can't break through to the divine origin creation realm, I'll take it as my investment has failed. You just have to return the remaining elemental fragments without paying any price. As for the rest, I won't ask for anything else from the Celestial Nation. This is the price you have to pay. You can decide. Wang Xian said to them. This was Wang Xian's request. It wasn't a high request, but it was also very high. But in order to obtain such a great opportunity, one had to bear the consequences. For Wang Xian to offer such a condition, it was already good enough. After all, other divine origin creation realm experts couldn't nurture Queen Floatwater like Wang Xian did. In fact, other divine origin creation realm experts wouldn't even be able to offer 1/5 of what Wang Xian offered. After all, Queen Floatwater's competitor was from their race, a race that possessed divine origin creation realm experts. Chapter 4084. Upon hearing Wang Xian's request, Queen Floating Water and the other 2 middle-aged men's expressions changed. Before they came here, they already had some guesses. However, they were still shocked when the Dragon King said that he would annihilate the Phoenix race in the future. This meant that he was going to fight the Phoenix race to the death. Sure, we agree. The bearded middle-aged man's expression changed as he took a look at Queen Floating Water before turning to Wang Xian. They did not hesitate much. The items that Wang Xian had taken out were simply too tempting. The conditions were too tempting. Only when she broke through to the creation realm would she have to bear this responsibility. If the Floating Water Queen broke through to the Heaven Essence Fortune realm, their immortal empire would have a Heaven Essence Fortune realm expert. The last spot in the 9-source universe. This spot was too precious. Once they missed it, they could forget about getting it in the future. The price for this spot wasn't too high. Seeing that Queen Floating Water's elder brother had agreed, Wang Xian smiled and looked at Queen Floating Water. Sure. Queen Floating Water nodded. All right, if you break through to the creation realm, we will be on the same level. Without full confidence, I won't annihilate the Phoenix race. These elemental fragments are for you. Wang Xian waved his arm and handed the 7 elemental fragments to Queen Floating Water. Thank you, Dragon King, for your support. If I can break through in the future, I will definitely fulfill my promise and not let you down. Queen Floating Water thanked Wang Xian immediately when she saw him giving her all 7 elemental fragments. You're welcome. We are also cooperating. Of course, the main goal is to not let the Phoenix race have another creation realm expert. Wang Xian answered honestly. There was nothing for him to hide. Queen Floating Water was taken aback when she heard Wang Xian. She couldn't help but ask, "What if I reject you, Dragon King?" Hee, then I will look for Heavenly Fusion Sage and try my best to raise that water attribute expert to the creation realm. Wang Xian chuckled and answered, Then I'm glad for this choice. Dragon King, I'll go back to Cultivate immediately and strive to break through. Queen Floating Water's heart skipped a beat as she bowed to Wang Xian. Sure. After the agreed time of 500 million years, I will take you to another universe and have a water elemental creation stage expert give you some pointers. Wang Xian said to her before waving his hand. Thank you, Dragon King. Floatwater Queen thanked him once more and flew outside. This Dragon King actually gave all the precious elemental fragments to my little sister. Furthermore, he didn't even place any restrictions or guarantee on our collaboration. The three of them flew towards the celestial nation. On the right, Floatwater Queen's second brother couldn't help but ask, because the Dragon King isn't worried about us returning. Even if little sister has made a breakthrough, as long as we don't fulfill our promise, given his strength, he can still destroy little sister and our celestial nation. Looking at the history of the Dragon Palace's development and rise, the Dragon King also knows that we dare not go back on our words. The bearded middle-aged man on the left replied, in the history of the Dragon Palace's development and rise, they had killed their way through. It doesn't matter what race you are, even if you are a phoenix or an angel. As long as they dared to provoke the Dragon Palace would dare to fight them to the death. Back then, the Dragon King wasn't strong enough to face the two pinnacle races. If the Celestial Nation didn't fulfill their promise, given the Dragon King's character, he wouldn't rest until the Celestial Nation was annihilated. Moreover, given the Dragon King's current strength, it wouldn't be difficult to kill a Creation Realm expert who had just made a breakthrough. That's true, little sister. This is an opportunity for the Celestial Nation and also for you. The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace wants to nurture you with all his might. The resources in the Dragon King's hands aren't any weaker than those of the Phoenix Emperor and Heaven's Unite Sage. In fact, he might even be more knowledgeable about the water attribute creation realm experts from other universes. You have a great chance. You must grasp it. The middle-aged man on the right nodded as he instructed Floatwater Queen. Big brother, second brother, I will? Floatwater Queen nodded her head heavily. This was a great opportunity for her. With the support of the powerful creation realm experts, she wasn't any weaker than the other two competitors. In fact, she felt that the other party might not even have what the Dragon King offered. I must make a breakthrough. Floatwater Queen made up her mind to return to the Celestial Nation and start cultivating immediately. Let's hope I can make a breakthrough. Wang Xian murmured as he watched Floatwater Queen leave. His investment this time was huge. If he didn't get anything in return, it would be a huge loss. Wang. Time passed day by day. On this day, many figures flew over with majestic auras. Wang Xian sensed them and looked over. 500 million years have passed. The group of divine origin creation experts are also very concerned about this matter. He murmured, Everyone, let's gather. Disciples at the pinnacle of the water attribute universe Lord Realm, come over too. Before long, Heaven's Unite Sage's voice was heard. Wang Xian made a move and flew over immediately. He hovered not far away from the heavenly fusion saint. Greetings, sirs. A group of disciples at the pinnacle of the water attribute universe Lord Realm flew over immediately and greeted them. Other than Wang Xian, the 8 creation realm experts and the 12 ancestors of sorcery had arrived. Wang Xian's gaze fell on Floatwater Queen as he sensed her strength and realm. Compared to 100 million years ago, he could sense that Floatwater Queen's strength had increased significantly. Elemental fragments were still very effective. Her strength was still at the forefront. Celestial Nation's Floatwater Queen, Aqua Phoenix King, and Scholarly Scholar. The 3 of them are still at the highest realm. If I'm not wrong, let's nurture the 3 of them. Heaven's Unite Sage swept his gaze across the group of disciples at the pinnacle of the water attribute universe Lord Realm as he spoke to Wang Xian and the rest. No objections. Wang Xian and the rest nodded. All right. For the next period of time, we will use 10 million years to answer all the questions of their cultivation. The rest of you disciples will also have the opportunity to listen from the side. Heaven's Unite Sage said to them, Thank you, sirs. Floatwater Queen and the rest thanked him gratefully. The 12 ancestors of sorcery, Dragon King, Unicorn, the 12 ancestors of sorcery, and 8 creation realm experts would be teaching them for 10 million years. It could be said that over a dozen creation realm experts were teaching them. This was definitely a great opportunity. This was no longer 1-on-1, but 3-on-1, 4-on-1. Chapter 4085. In the following tens of millions of years, Wang Xian and the group of creation realm experts guided the cultivation of the disciples with water attributes. However, more than 9 million years ago, Yi Qingyu's eyes lit up. The eyes of a figure floating in the air flickered slightly, following which, Wang Xian and the group felt an extremely powerful aura surging from his body. Wang Xian looked over, and his gaze fell on the fallen shadow demon emperor. He had a surprised look on his face. At this moment, the energy on the fallen shadow demon emperor was abnormally terrifying. Even Wang Xian felt his hair stand on end. "Senior fallen shadow, you're back?" The Heavenly Union sage looked at the fallen shadow demon emperor and asked in surprise. Although the fallen shadow demon emperor had always been here, this was only a clone of his. This clone had always been a man of few words. Even in the past 9 million years, he had only spoken a dozen or so sentences. He did not give much guidance to the floating water queen and the rest. Wang Xian and the group also knew that the main body of the fallen shadow demon emperor was not here. This was just a clone. Although it was a clone, it still had the strength of a creation realm expert who had just entered the creation realm. The fallen shadow demon emperor was the strongest existence in the Nine Origins universe. A great Tao expert. "Yes, I'm back. I received a piece of news outside." The fallen shadow demon emperor nodded and swept his gaze across the group. A rather big piece of news. A creation realm treasure is about to be born in a universe in the primal chaos. What? As soon as he finished speaking, the angel emperor, the phoenix emperor, the heavenly union sage, and even Wang Xian and the group were all shocked. A supreme treasure created by Tianyuan? A universe was about to give birth to such a treasure? A heavenly origin creation level treasure was much rarer than a heavenly origin creation level powerhouse. In the Nine Origins universe, Wang Xian had learned from the Fairy Queen. On the surface, the universe AI was a creation realm treasure. However, this treasure was too supportive and could not be subdued. Currently, only the Heavenly Union Sage had obtained its recognition. Even so, the Heavenly Fusion Sage was able to borrow the power of the universe AI to unleash the power of a control-level divine origin creation realm powerhouse within the Nine Origins universe. Furthermore, the City Empress had also told him that the 12 ancestors of sorcerers of the Sorcerer clan should have a heavenly origin creation level treasure in their possession. Other than that, there was nothing else. Even the fallen shadow demon emperor didn't have a heaven origin fortune treasure. One could only imagine the preciousness of the heaven origin creation treasure. It was a treasure that could make divine origin creation realm experts risk their lives. In the past, the Divine Dragon Clan and the Insect Clan had perished together for the sake of a heavenly Yuan fortune treasure seedling. Senior Rue Ying, did you enter that universe to explore? The royal family's sky origin creation realm powerhouse asked the falling shadow demon emperor. "I went in, but I was expelled by that universe. I was almost killed by that universe." The fallen shadow demon emperor shook his head and said, "What's the situation?" The Black Tortoise Clan's divine origin creation realm expert was slightly shocked. Every universe has its own protection mechanism and rules. The fallen shadow demon emperor answered, "If we want to enter another universe, our strength will be suppressed by 3 levels. This is a rule. If we have special treasures, we can also avoid this rule. However, once we use powers that don't belong to this universe, we will be detected by the universe. Once we are detected, we will not only be suppressed by 3 levels, but we will also be attacked by the universe's heavenly punishment. The Great Tao level heavenly Yuan fortune treasure can't withstand the attack of a universe. After I was attacked, my body was instantly obliterated. Fortunately, I have a treasure that resurrected me." The fallen shadow demon emperor said. He had been attacked not long ago, and his body had been obliterated. This left him with lingering fear. Even if he had a trump card, it was still terrifying to be destroyed by a universe's heavenly punishment. Oh? Upon hearing the fallen shadow demon emperor's words, Wang Xian's eyes flickered and he revealed a look of surprise. You must be the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. Not bad to possess such strength at this realm. Upon hearing Wang Xian's surprise, the fallen Shadow Demon Emperor looked at him and sized him up with his 3 pupils. The fallen Shadow Demon Emperor was in human form, but his body was pitch black and covered with scales. He had a pair of devil horns and 3 blood-red eyes. At this moment, his eyes were sizing up Wang Xian. Clearly, he had sensed Wang Xian's true realm, 7th Order Universe Lord Realm. At this realm, he could possess the strength of a Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm expert. In that case, an 8th Order Universe Lord might possess the power to control it. A 9th Order Universe Lord would possess the power of Great Tao. As for the peak, the fallen Shadow Demon Emperor felt that he would be considered an expert among the Great Tao. However, he had yet to reach the Chaos Realm. The fallen Shadow Demon Emperor was certain about this. Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts were not meticulous about the division of their realms. Everything was still being explored. Senior, you're too humble. I have a question. In another universe, there are treasures that can avoid the suppression of the universe. Why would the universe send heavenly punishment to attack us during a battle? I also unleashed all my strength in the other universe and was not attacked. Wang Xian asked with some doubts. What the fallen Shadow Demon Emperor said was completely different from what Wang Xian had encountered. Dragon King, did you achieve a breakthrough in your strength in another universe? That's the only way you wouldn't be punished by heavenly punishment in another universe. The fallen Shadow Demon Emperor said. In fact, if there are treasures that can avoid the suppression of the universe, it wouldn't be a problem to use the power of Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm under normal circumstances. However, there's a prerequisite. You can't use it all the time. If you use it for a long time, you'll be detected. In addition, the strength you use can't exceed the strength of the strongest expert in this universe. Otherwise, this universe will sense that you're not a living being of this universe. The fallen Shadow Demon Emperor explained to him. There were rules in the universe. There was a limit to how many Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts a universe could produce. Moreover, the birth of a Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm expert would be recorded in this universe. Originally, there were 2 Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts in this universe, and they were recorded by the rules of the universe. When one suddenly appeared, it would naturally be discovered and sensed. With treasures, one could temporarily hide. However, if one directly attacked the other 2 Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts, the rules of the universe would be triggered and heavenly punishment would be sent. Chapter 4086. In addition, in a universe, if only one beginner Divine Origin Creation Realm expert was born, a control-level Divine Origin Creation Realm expert would enter. Those with hidden treasures would not be attacked. However, there was one thing, and that was that they could not unleash their full strength. Once unleashed, they would be attacked by the laws of the universe. A Divine Origin Creation Realm expert would not be able to withstand such an attack. Indeed. Upon hearing the fallen Shadow Devil Emperor's words, Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. His improvement in strength was indeed carried out in the sword and sorcery universe. If you want to enter another universe to carry out activities, you have to abide by the rules of that universe. Even if you use treasures to avoid the first rule, you still have to be careful. Otherwise, you will die if you are discovered. The falling Shadow Demon Emperor added one last sentence. Senior Fallen Shadow, what kind of Divine Origin Creation Realm treasure is born in that universe? The Divine Origin Creation Realm expert of the royal family asked again. A supreme treasure of the Heavenly Yuan Fortune Realm. This was an absolute treasure. It was a treasure that they all yearned for. I don't know. This news was divined by a Divine Origin Creation Realm fortune teller. After confirmation, there is indeed a Divine Origin Creation Realm treasure born there. In that universe, there are 3 Divine Origin Creation Realm experts. Their strength is only at the beginner level. They also know about the birth of a Divine Origin Creation Realm treasure in their universe. However, the birth of a Divine Origin Creation Realm treasure does not cause a stir in the universe. Treasures of this level all have a trace of spiritual intelligence and will protect themselves. A detailed search is required. However, When it is truly born, there will be energy leakage. The fallen shadow devil emperor answered and swept his gaze across them. This treasure is no longer fated with me. If you're interested, you can give it a try. The divine origin creation realm experts of that universe already know about it. In that case, it will be a little difficult to enter and obtain the divine origin creation realm treasure. The divine origin creation realm expert of the Black Tortoise clan said with a slight frown, "It depends on luck. If you are lucky, you can still get it." The fallen shadow devil emperor said, "Avoid the detection of the divine origin creation realm experts of this universe. Lock onto the divine origin creation realm treasure in advance, and then leave. This requires a great deal of luck. However, for the Heaven Yuan fortune treasure, even if there is only a 1% chance, it is worth it." The Dark Clan's divine origin creation realm expert said. The other Sky Yuan creation experts nodded in agreement. Even if there was only a 1% chance of obtaining such a treasure, even if he had to waste hundreds of millions of years, he still had to give it a try. If they were to obtain this treasure, it would be a huge gain for them. When you enter that universe, there are treasures that can avoid the universe's suppression. Don't use your Sky Yuan fortune realm strength. As for those who are suppressed, your strength is at the peak of the universe ruler realm. Therefore, I suggest that you don't use treasures that can avoid the universe's laws. Just directly endure the universe's suppression. In that case, this cosmos will not attack you. Of course, in that case, you will have to face the attacks of that cosmos creation stage powerhouses. The falling shadow devil emperor suggested. Suffering the attacks of that universe's Heaven Yuan fortune stage expert was better than being attacked by the laws of the universe. Even the falling shadow demon emperor was instantly killed by the attack of the universe's laws. When everyone heard this, they nodded slightly. "Thank you, Elder Falling Shadow, for sharing this piece of information with us." The Heavenly Unity Sage and the rest said to the falling shadow demon emperor, "There's no need for that. The laws of the universe have already remembered my aura. I can no longer enter. If you guys can improve, it will be a blessing for our nine-source universe." The falling shadow demon emperor said plainly. Wang Xian's heart skipped a beat when he heard his words. Some of the experts in the nine-source universe placed the nine-source universe as their priority. Wang Xian was also a little excited about this Heavenly Yuan fortune treasure. He was prepared to go over and check it out. Wang Xian felt that he was extremely lucky. If he could obtain a Heavenly Yuan fortune treasure, the increase in his strength would be terrifying. The progenitor tree in his body had not fully matured yet, but it had already displayed its terrifying effects. The value of a Heavenly Yuan fortune treasure was beyond imagination. In that case, let's go and try our luck. The eyes of the 12 ancestral sorcerers shone brightly as they spoke. Pay attention to your safety. This matter has already been exposed. There are already many Heavenly Yuan fate transformation experts in the surroundings of that universe. Even if you have obtained a Heavenly Yuan fate transformation treasure, once you are discovered, a huge battle will break out. The falling shadow demon emperor reminded again. When the city queen and the rest heard this news, their hearts skipped a beat and their faces were filled with solemn expressions. Wang Xian did not know much about the situation in the chaos space. He was a little curious. Could it be that the Heavenly Yuan fortune realm experts in the various universes were still in contact? How did this news spread? It seemed like there were many things in the chaos space that he did not understand. These are the coordinates. It will take you tens of millions of years to get there. The falling shadow demon emperor waved his arm and the coordinates entered their minds. The falling shadow demon emperor waved his hand and left. Forget about teaching. Let's make a trip to this universe and try our luck. The Heavenly Yuan fortune realm expert of the undead race said after the falling shadow demon emperor left. All right. The rest of the experts were all focused on this shocking news, on the information about the treasure of fortune of heaven origin. They did not have the mood to teach Queen Floatwater and the rest. One by one, they moved and flew towards the surroundings. The 12 ancestral sorcerers flew towards the vast chaos space. Floatwater, let's go. I'll bring you to a place. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he spoke to Queen Floatwater. Yes, Dragon King. Queen Floatwater nodded. Wang Xian waved his arm, and a wave of energy shrouded him and brought him to the teleportation formation. Behind them, the Aqua Phoenix King of the Phoenix clan, the scholarly scholar of the Sage bloodline, and the surrounding experts watched this scene in astonishment as their eyes flickered with brilliance. The Aqua Phoenix King frowned and immediately chased after the Phoenix Emperor not far away. Wang Xian was prepared to bring the Queen of Floating Water to the Sword and Magic universe. During this period of time, he had already told Lu Lan to help guide Floatwater Queen through the Void God Dragon's body. After sending Queen Floatwater to the Sword and Magic universe, Wang Xian was ready to head to the universe that the falling Shadow Demon Emperor mentioned, to look for opportunities. Chapter 4087. Lu Lan, sorry to trouble you. In the flowing water's sacred ground of the Sword and Magic universe, Wang Xian rushed over with Queen Floatwater and spoke to her with a smile. You're too polite, Dragon King. It's just a small matter. Lu Lan shook her head. Not only did she not reject Wang Xian's invitation to bring a peak water-attributed universe Lord Realm disciple over, but she was even more than happy to do so. They had already experienced Wang Xian's current strength. Coupled with a creation realm expert, their strength was comparable to the entire sword and sorcery universe. Befriending Wang Xian now would bring them great benefits when the cataclysm arrived. Moreover, Lu Lan and Wu Wangtian had some discussions, preparing to trade with each other when the cataclysm arrives in the future, in exchange for peace in the sword and magic universes. Okay, then I will leave this disciple here. I have something to do and have to leave. Wang Xian cupped his fists at Lu Lan. Lu Lan smiled and nodded. After Wang Xian left the sword and magic universe and arrived at the nine-source universe, he immediately entered the chaos. Then, he and the Kylan bull flew in the same direction. The fallen Shadow Devil Emperor gave Wang Xian the coordinates. These coordinates could give Wang Xian a clear direction. In the primal chaos, millions of years passed very quickly. Wang Xian and the rest did not carry out any exploration along the way. Therefore, they did not waste any time. 20 million years later, Wang Xian and the rest were getting closer to the coordinates. We're almost there. Wang Xian sensed it and reminded Qilin, we have to be careful. According to the fallen Shadow Devil Emperor, this matter has been exposed. There will be other creation realm experts in the vicinity. It's Dragon King. The Qilin bull nodded. The universe was located in the primal chaos. If a heaven origin creation realm expert roamed the primal chaos, he could also encounter other universes. However, under normal circumstances, divine origin creation stage experts would not barge into an unfamiliar universe. Every universe is protected by laws. Entering it was an act of courting death. However, if a heavenly origin fortune treasure was born in this universe, it would be a different story. Wang Xian did not know much about the rules in the chaos. Therefore, it was better to be safe than sorry. Wang Xian and Qilin Bull slowed down as they observed their surroundings vigilantly. After flying for a few more hours, they suddenly sensed a terrifying energy coming from the front. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Following that, the rumbling sounds continued to ring out. Wang Xian and Qilin Bull were astonished. Boss, it seems like there are divine origin creation realm experts fighting. Lin Yo said. Looks like it. Let's go around the side, said Wang Xian as he moved away from the battlefield. As they continued to fly forward, the two figures who were engaged in a fierce battle soon appeared clearly in their vision. These were two abnormally huge figures. One was like an octopus with countless tentacles. There were sharp spikes on its tentacles, making it look like a war monster. This was a metal element heaven essence creation realm expert. The other one was a dinosaur-like Tian Yuan fortune, which was also of the metal attribute. Their bodies shone with golden light, and their battle was exceptionally fierce. Both of them have just entered the creation realm. I wonder what kind of grudge they have. Lin Yo looked over and said. The two Sky Origin Creation Realm experts were fighting against each other while shouting something. Wang Xian and the rest had only heard a few words and were not clear. There are many Heaven Origin Creation Realm experts in the surroundings. Wang Xian scanned the surroundings. Based on his senses, There were at least 3 to 4 heaven origin creation realm experts in the surroundings. They were waiting in the surroundings, but Wang Xian did not know what they were thinking. Ignore them. Let's go in directly. Wang Xian scanned the surroundings and said, now, the heavenly origin treasure and creation treasure were the priority. Wang Xian was not interested in other things. The 2 experts in front of him clearly had some grudges. Yes, Dragon King. Lin Yo nodded, and the 2 of them flew straight into the universe ahead. Another 2 have entered. This should be the 28th, right? This is just the number that we know. There should be a few more that we don't know. TSK, this is crazy. I wonder how many will die this time. At most, some of their avatars will die. Those without trump cards wouldn't dare to enter. It seems like some Tao realm experts entered and were attacked by the laws of the universe. They were killed immediately. However, old monsters like Tao realm experts won't die so easily. When Wang Xian and the rest flew in the surroundings, the 2 sky origin creation realm experts were chatting. Their eyes flickered as they looked at them. The 6 paths universe will get more and more exciting. The 2 of them sighed. Buzz buzz. At the same time, Wang Xian and Lin Yo entered the 6 paths universe. A strong suppressive force surged into their bodies. When Wang Xian entered, he did not use the heavenly Yuan Jade Horn. According to the fallen Shadow Devil Emperor's reminder, it was best not to use such treasures when entering. The laws of the universe were much more terrifying than the heavenly Yuan creation realm experts in this universe. When they entered, they only needed to pay attention to the heavenly Yuan creation realm experts inside. Once they encountered one, they could escape quickly. When heavenly Yuan creation realm experts entered another universe, their strength would be suppressed to the pinnacle universe Lord realm. As for the specific strength they could unleash, it depended on their own strength. When Wang Xian and the rest entered, the suppression of the universe immediately came. They immediately concealed their auras. If they did not conceal their auras, they would be sensed by the heavenly Yuan creation realm experts in this universe. With their auras concealed, Wang Xian could sense their strength. Pinnacle Universe Lord Realm. At the level of heavenly Yuan creation realm, even if their strength was suppressed, they could still unleash the strength of a Pinnacle Universe Lord Realm expert when they entered another universe. Next, we have to be careful. Don't let the heavenly Yuan creation realm experts in this universe discover us. Once discovered, escape immediately. Wang Xian reminded Lin Yo. Because they had accepted the suppression of this universe, Wang Xian and the rest could unleash their full strength. Of course, because of the suppression, the strength they could unleash would be very weak. But escaping for a short period of time shouldn't be a problem. Lin Yo nodded. Wang Xian looked at this brand new universe, at the 6 paths universe. In this universe, there are only the 5 elements and another type of energy aura. This energy is very special. Wang Xian murmured as he felt the energy in this universe. Here, there was a brand new attribute, a brand new energy. This was the first time he felt this energy. He did not know what effect it would have. Chapter 4088. Dragon King. The energy in this universe is indeed unique. Among the 5 elements, there is another unique energy. This energy has a deathly stillness and a vitality. How strange. Qilin Bull looked around as he spoke to Wang Xian. Indeed. Wang Xian nodded. Their strength had reached the creation realm of Sky Yuan. Although they were suppressed, their senses and reflexes were not. What was suppressed was their pure strength. Ordinary creation realm experts were still no match for Wang Xian and the rest. Let's go and understand the situation in this universe, said Wang Xian. He looked towards the depths of this universe. With a swift move, he flew over immediately. Qilin Bull followed immediately. The 2 of them flew in the same direction. Their speed was much slower due to the suppression of their strength. Based on the vast area of a universe, it would take at least tens of millions of years to explore the entire universe. However, generally speaking, the birth of a creation realm treasure would be at the center of the universe. Therefore, they were prepared to explore the center. Buzz buzz. Wang Xian and the rest flew. 200 years passed quickly. The place near the chaos belonged to the edge of the universe. Generally, no living creatures lived there. It was also the place where the energy was the thinnest. After flying for 200 years, Wang Xian suddenly sensed something. Hold on. There seems to be something below, Wang Xian said to Qilin Bull with a cautious look on his face. Now that a Creation Realm treasure had appeared in this universe, the Creation Realm experts in this universe already knew of the arrival of Creation Realm experts from other universes. They would definitely be wary of the group of invaders. They might even want to kill them. Wang Xian and the rest had to be careful. Boss, are there any living creatures around? Qilin Bull squinted his eyes. His single eye glowed as he looked below. His eyes were glowing with white light. Wang Xian looked down and sized up the area carefully. When he landed on a spot, he flew over immediately. Qilin Bull also discovered something. He moved and flew over quickly. G. Suddenly, ear-piercing cries came from the ground below. Soon after, Wang Xian and the rest saw the entire ground shaking. When Wang Xian saw this, he waved his arm. An energy palm formed instantly and grabbed at the ground below. G. The ear-piercing shriek rang out again. However, at this moment, Wang Xian grabbed a piece of land with his huge palm. He moved his palm, and the soil in his palm disappeared, revealing the creature inside. When he saw the creature inside, his face revealed a startled expression. This is? The Qilin Bull was also looking at these living beings in astonishment. They could no longer be called living beings, but rather eyeballs. That's right, eyeballs. An eyeball with a row of sharp teeth. They were similar to human eyes, black and white. The only difference was that there were more blood-red stripes on it. There was a special energy on the eyeball. This should be the unique energy of this universe. What is this? Qilin Bull couldn't help but ask. Let me check. Wang Xian shook his head. With a flick of his palm, he unleashed the soul-assimilating force immediately. A wave of energy directly entered the body of a special creature with an eyeball. However, the outcome that shocked Wang Xian happened. When Wang Xian's soul-assimilating force entered the body of the creature with an eyeball, he couldn't find any information. He continued to unleash the soul-assimilating force on the other eyeball, but it still didn't work. What's going on? Why isn't the soul-assimilating force working? Living beings must have a soul. Without a soul, how could they have intelligence? Why don't these living creatures with eyes have souls? Could it be related to the special energy of this world? Wang Xian murmured. He frowned slightly and took a closer look. The eyes of the special creatures that he had captured were clearly filled with fear. Clearly, they possessed intelligence. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he crushed one of the creatures. After killing it, Wang Xian took a look inside the creature with an eyeball the size of a human head. When he saw the situation inside, he revealed a doubtful look. The interior of this creature was rotten flesh. In Wang Xian's eyes, it was the rotten flesh of a long-dead creature. This creature is really strange. It's similar to the zombies in sci-fi movies on Earth. Wang Xian murmured. Boss, this creature is very special. I can sense that there is an energy connection between them. In addition, if they pretend to be dead, they are completely dead. They are not living creatures at all. It is very special. No wonder I didn't sense them at the beginning. At this time, Qilin Bull spoke. Qilin Bull, you can sense that there's an energy connection between these creatures? Wang Xian looked at Qilin Bull and asked. Boss, I can see with my eyes. My pupils can activate a special state. In this state, all types of energy appear white. There's an energy connection between them. I can't sense that connection, but I can see it. It should be the usage of this universe's special energy. Qilin Bull answered. Wang Xian nodded slightly upon hearing it. Suddenly, he had an idea and frowned again. We should have been exposed. We have to leave this place as soon as possible. Wang Xian said hurriedly. This kind of special energy and connection reminded him of the power of faith in the faith universe. These special creatures had an energy connection. In that case, the situation here might have been known by the experts of this universe. In addition, these special creatures should have been intentionally placed here by an expert to monitor them. In fact, Wang Xian had a conjecture. Perhaps these special eyes were not a complete living creature. Instead, they were some means of the experts of this universe. Cheelin Bull narrowed his eyes when he heard it. When he looked around cautiously, his expression changed. "Boss, there's still this kind of energy coming our way," he said hurriedly. "Let's go. Hide as much as we can and leave this place." Wang Xian said hurriedly without any hesitation. His body moved, and he quickly flew into the distance. Cheelin Bull followed closely behind. Before they could fly far, tens of thousands of crow-like creatures flew over from the distant sky. In the middle of this group of crows, there was a human-like figure. Chapter 4089. That's the 34th, huh? In the sky above the Six Paths universe, a figure stood tall in the sky. Around him were tens of thousands of crow-like creatures. These crows had ghastly pale pupils and had a special aura. He looked in the direction where Wang Xian and Cheelin Bull had left, his eyes filled with coldness. "Coveting the treasure of our Six Paths universe? You're looking down on our Six Paths universe. Hee hee, I'd like to see what kind of tricks you can pull off." He sneered, and his body slowly dissipated, turning into rotting flesh. The surrounding crows also disappeared as if they had been incinerated. "Boss, our arrival should have been discovered." Wang Xian and Cheelin Bull flew quickly into the distance. Cheelin Bull scanned the back and said, This is the Six Paths universe after all. The Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts here will definitely be prepared. In their territory, we'll be easily discovered. But it seems like they didn't chase after us." Wang Xian nodded. "There should be many Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts in this universe." Cheelin Bull pondered for a moment and said, Wang Xian was also enlightened. The universe was located in the chaotic space. Some Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts roamed the chaotic space in search of treasures. Over time, they would also encounter Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts from other universes. When the two met, they might trade or something. This might allow many Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts to keep in contact with each other for easier trading. There should be a trading area somewhere in the chaotic space. And the news of the Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm treasure in the Six Paths universe should have spread from this area. The number of Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts who came to the Six Paths universe was definitely no less than a few dozen. After all, there were already 8 or 9 of them in the Nine Origins universe. The number of other universes would not be small either. It was a terrifying thing for dozens of Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm experts to enter a universe. "Let's see if we can find the city or country of this universe civilization," Wang Xian said as he flew in a particular direction with greater caution. What they needed to do now was to find the city of this universe civilization and get some information. Otherwise, flying aimlessly in search of the Heavenly Yuan Creation Realm treasure would be like searching for a needle in the ocean. "Boss, there seems to be a city up ahead." 500 years later, the Cheelin Bull looked ahead and suddenly said. After the Unicorn Bull opened its single eye, its vision was much better than Wang Xian's. Every Divine Essence Creation Realm expert had their own unique and powerful abilities. As long as we can find the life forms of this space civilization, we will be able to find out more about this universe. Wang Xian looked in the direction that the Unicorn Bull was pointing at and increased his speed. This universe has the 5 elements, so there must be living beings that cultivate the 5 elements. This kind of creature should be different from the one he encountered not long ago. It should be a normal living creature. As they continued flying forward, a city that was brimming with vitality appeared before their eyes. This was a city engulfed in flames, and a human lived in the city. There were also some other humanoid creatures. For example, fireman, lava giant, and so on. The creatures in this city are all weaklings. Imitate the creatures here and let's go in. As Wang Xian spoke, he came to the sky above the city. His entire body was covered in flames, and his appearance was exactly the same as the creatures here. He quietly entered the city. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the surroundings. With a thought, he unleashed the soul assimilation force. In an instant, waves of information were transmitted into his mind. Wang Xian's soul assimilation force could be used against these weak living beings without making a sound. Moreover, it would not harm these living beings. As the waves of information entered his mind, his eyes flickered. Fire plane, water plane, Earth Plain, Ajin Mountain Range, Death Basin. Wang Xian mumbled as he looked through the information. These 6 places were the most important information that Wang Xian had obtained. And these 6 places were also the core of the 6 Paths universe. Fire Plain was a place with the fire element. Water Plain was a place with the water element. As for the last place, Death Basin, it was a place with the undead element in the 6 Paths universe. The 6th element of this universe was known as the undead element. The undead were completely different from skeletons. The undead were living beings that had truly died and were summoned. After being summoned, they possessed spiritual intelligence. However, they did not have any vitality. Instead, they relied on the energy of the undead element to survive. The undead knew no fatigue or pain. The strength that they possessed before they died would be the same strength that they possessed after being summoned. This was a very special energy. Summoning, resurrection, undead living beings, what's up with those eyeballs? What about the undead experts' usage of the undead energy? The living beings in this city were too weak. There was a lot of information that they did not know. Wang Xian could only make some guesses. In addition, under normal circumstances, Tianyuan creation treasures would be born in places with rich energy. The 6 treasure lands in the 6 Paths universe had the highest possibility of producing Tianyuan creation treasures. Wang Xian pondered. Qilanbul, let's go. Let's continue heading towards the center. Wang Xian said to Qilanbul. They acted as the living beings of this universe and headed towards the center. Covered in flames, they arrived at another city after flying for a few years. In this city, Wang Xian obtained more information. For example, other situations in this universe. The forces in the 6 Paths universe were divided by tribes. The powerful tribes were all located in these 6 places. In the 6 Paths universe, there were 3 top tribes. Countless experts and living beings served these 3 top tribes. And these 3 top tribes were tribes that had divine origin creation realm experts. As they ventured deeper, Wang Xian obtained more and more information as time passed. Moreover, their acting as the living beings of this universe became more and more realistic. Without being able to sense their strength, even Tianyuan creation realm experts would not be able to distinguish Wang Xian and the rest. As time passed, Wang Xian and the rest got closer to the center of the 6 Paths universe. They were also getting closer to the 6 treasure lands, and the tribes and cities that they encountered were also getting bigger. The entire universe was slightly peaceful. Occasionally, one could see battles between tribes. The overall strength of the living beings in this universe was much weaker than the 9-source universe. The number of Universe Lord Realm experts was much lesser than the Sword and Magic universe. However, the overall strength was slightly stronger than the Sword and Magic universe. Chapter 4090. Boss, which Holy Land are we going to first? The Holy Land was what the disciples of the 6 Paths universe called the Fire Wasteland, the Golden Mountain Range, and the Grassland. The Holy Land was occupied by various large tribes. There were still elemental beasts active in a few of the sacred grounds. Elemental beasts were creatures without intelligence. They came in all shapes and sizes and possessed all sorts of powerful attributes. To the living beings and experts of the 6 Paths universe, killing elemental beasts would greatly increase their strength. However, in the Holy Land, the elemental beasts had not gone extinct. Instead, many elemental beasts occupied a territory. This was because one of the Heaven Origin Creation Stage experts in the 6 Paths universe was an elemental beast. The elemental beasts that had broken through to the creation state had gained intelligence. Of course, he didn't want the intelligent beings in the 6 Paths universe to annihilate his race. Even the other 2 Heaven Essence Creation Stage experts gave orders that disciples at the peak of the universe ruler realm were forbidden from hunting elemental beasts. This also resulted in many places in the 6 great holy lands becoming a paradise for elemental beasts. In the 6 Paths universe, there are 3 Heaven Origin Chi practitioners. They are of the metal element, earth element, and death element respectively. Generally speaking, the 6 Paths universe can give birth to Heaven Origin Chi practitioners of 6 elements and Heaven Origin treasures of 6 elements. However, Whether or not a heavenly origin fortune treasure can be born is also related to the energy within the universe. I think the other three attributes are more likely. Let's go to the fire plains first and check out the holy lands of fire, water, and earth. Wang Xian analyzed. The Qilin bull nodded and looked to the right. Boss, the fire plain is on the right. Let's go. We'll go to the fire plains first. Wang Xian nodded his head. After a long time of flying, they arrived at the deepest part of the Six Paths universe. They were not too far away from the fire plains. Wang Xian and Qilin Bull continued flying. Before long, a fiery plain appeared in their sight. The fire plains, the true fire plains. The fire started a prairie fire. Within the fire plains, wisps of flames rose from the ground. Each wisp of flame was different in size. The huge flame soared into the sky, containing a terrifying might as it swayed in the air. The small flame was no more than half a meter tall. It created a strange and magnificent scene in front of them. Wang Xian and the rest sized up this unique space and entered it immediately. Just a little bit. This is the only way. As Wang Xian spoke, he turned to Qilin Bull and said, Qilin Bull, let's sense one area each. Be careful and don't get discovered. Yes, boss. The Qilin Bull nodded. Wang Xian and Qilin Bull began to separate. Both of them could sense each other's aura and would not lose each other. This way, the two of them would be able to speed up their search. It was very difficult to find an unknown treasure in an unfamiliar universe. It could even be said that it was like looking for a needle in a haystack. However, the temptation of a heavenly yuan fortune treasure was too great. Even if they had to waste hundreds of millions of years, they would still be willing. Wang Xian and the rest shared the same thought. The fire plains was a world of flames, a world of fire attribute. Wang Xian moved forward bit by bit as he sensed his surroundings. A few months later, some living beings from the Six Paths universe appeared around. The disciples of the clans in the inner regions of the fire plains. These experts and disciples seemed to be searching for something as well, searching bit by bit. The strongest, third-order universe Lord Realm. Wang Xian's gaze swept across the few thousand experts and disciples as he mumbled to himself. He moved and immediately walked over. The soul assimilation power began to be unleashed silently. Soon, information was transmitted into his mind. Earth Fire Tribe. Wang Xian mumbled. Earth Fire Tribe was the name of these few thousand experts and disciples. The leader of the tribe had ordered them to search for items that contained mystical energy and pressure. In fact, they did not know what they were looking for. They only relied on a little information to search blindly. It seems like the experts in the Six Paths universe do not know about the heavenly yuan fortune treasure either. Wang Xian thought to himself. In this case, their chances of finding it would be higher. After Wang Xian obtained some useful information, he continued to move forward. However, in the fire plains, Wang Xian and the rest did not find any information about the heavenly yuan fortune treasure. Apart from the flames, the occasional experts and disciples from the Six Paths universe, and some elemental beasts. Fortunately, Wang Xian was mentally prepared and did not lose his patience. A few hundred years later, Wang Xian and Qilin Bull came to the front of a tribe. This was a huge tribe. The outer perimeter of the tribe was filled with flaming buildings. Let's go to this arcane fire tribe and see if we can get some information. Wang Xian gestured to Qilin Bull. After searching for a few hundred years, Wang Xian and the rest did not find any clues. He was prepared to continue to this place and search the memories of the experts and disciples here. He wanted to see if he could find anything. After all, this was the territory of the tribes in the Six Paths universe. After the news of the heavenly yuan fortune treasure came out, the tribes had been searching. They had been searching for at least tens of millions of years. Wang Xian and the rest disguised themselves as the living beings of the Six Paths universe. Their bodies were covered in flames as they walked in. The outer perimeter of the arcane fire tribe was filled with a large number of humans. It was very lively. Wang Xian entered and sensed the aura of the people around him. He began to search the memories of some experts in the sovereign realm silently. There were not many experts in the outer perimeter of this tribe, but there were a dozen of them. Wang Xian frowned as he looked through the information. There was no information. Seems like I have to make long-term plans in this universe, Wang Xian thought to himself. After which, he walked towards a restaurant. He was prepared to stay in the outer perimeter of this tribe for a few more days. Damn it, damn it, those guys from the Nine Origins universe. They actually used that strange sorcery to expose King Kong Ming's identity. He was discovered by the heavenly Yuan fortune treasure experts of this universe. They used them to kill King Kong Ming. Now that King Kong Ming has left the Six Paths universe, he needs some time to recover. He can't enter again. Those 12 ancestral sorcerers are a little difficult to deal with. Now that they are here, the other guys from the Nine Origins universe might be here too. When we meet them, we will kill them directly. In this universe, unless we meet the Nine Origins universe's Angel Emperor or the Thunder Emperor, we won't have much of an advantage here. After all, this universe doesn't have a spatial attribute. Our advantage is also great. If we attack directly and fail, we will leave. They won't be able to catch up to us. Moreover, they will attract the heavenly Yuan fortune treasure of this universe. We will use this method to deal with them. I seem to have sensed a special aura. At the same time, somewhere in the outer perimeter of the arcane fire tribe, two figures were conversing telepathically. Suddenly, one of the figures raised his eyebrows.